Have you heard of Nag Hammadi? No? Let me tell you about it. The Nag Hammadi Library is a collection of 13 ancient books called codices, containing over 50 texts. Texts that present a radically different view of early Christian beliefs.
During the early race, man wanted real estate, so he started building shape. Others started to fill away, though they started killing snake. Those of the worldly faith found themselves in pearly gates, left his seat as girl inflates. Blessed he who elevates, set the tea and meditate. Rain splash off of the stained glass. Medieval cathedrals that still stand in Spain and France. Skeleton figures how many diamonds his ring had. The courts had green grass. The hawks took spring baths. Across where kings clashed, they fought for the queen's hand. A masterpiece done by priests. Refractory property so unique. Sister goes Sophia in her holy seat. Her feet Alistair Crowley sleeps. It's where Kiss and Bon Jovi meet. The Greek, the beast, the owl covered in rosaries. Prophetess, potions, and poetry. Abraxas Rebus Simha. The lion called Simba. When rhyming, I'm the Templar. The troubadour make music for the temper. The rooster call from roof to floor. The eye is in the center. The truth is all manly hall. What lies within the picture. The fruit don't fall. Nuclear war that ties within the scriptures. The zodiac sign of Hitler. More than one Jack the Ripper. More than one Shakespeare. For some of it take years. The Nag Hammadi god body that practice motionless karate. The dragon on my Vatican Armani. Nag Hammadi, Nag Hammadi. Craft I'm in, I'm mastering. The carpentry, the scaffolding. Corian stones to cornerstones. When I grab the pen, I fall in my zone and reach the African. Plastered in the walls of Rome, the priest is practicing. The royals on the doors of the dome, pads and fabric skin. On the mountain surrounded by columns, writing my album. All alone like a minute of solemn, solving my problems. Gothic sanctuaries, the wall of St. Mary's. The gospel of John, the scary lady. I've been drinking heavy, reading psalms with nervous palms. Open the vote, grab my sword and my coat of arms. Murder I wrote. Nag Hammadi, Nag Hammadi.
I hear spirits unaware when they whisper. Books and steps climbing up my stairs in the mirror. Zodiac webs, but the air in a twister.
The Nag Hammadi god body
rare for the listener. Yo, Nag Hammadi, Nag Hammadi, Nadi Maki crusade. Good lord, hook saw chopping with the moon blade. 10 planets in my space, jamming when the tunes played from sampling the groove late. Acoustics, he's not in his body, but after all, he asked the all, so he's not in his body. Nag Hammadi, disagree, but really, could've Nag Hammadi. Nag Hammadi's body's out for karma, I'm a robbery. Nagasaki thought train, Nazi trolley stopped his folly. I'm a turbulence and heads were told by how to spot me. Never poke a dot on a leopard, the grand menagerie. Right before they make their next move, they say the planets watch me, follow me forever. When the camera shot me, Mandelbrot me. Cosmic egg, Nog exotic beaches in the sand in Bali. Woke up a giant, lost the trees upon the land with broccoli. Y'all don't understand it probably. Kick inside the gown of Lakshmi. Never reached the crown, the top and see me. And they found the mock, they found the copy. Sound karate. As speaking, I found the cocky on the clock. I knew the doom. Mask up underground, Gaddafi. Ancient astronaut from Mali. Yes, I'm high, but not on Mali. Exercise, Pilates, body, cards with wands. Manuscripts, but couldn't hold the manuscripts of marble car. Shalabam, Lake Chromatic carbon. Enemy in dark bronze, apocryphon of car. Hypostasis of the archon. Delete computer cookies out the language to the jargon. Avians, Acadians, praying in the Sargon. Start calm, then it got crazy up in stark calm. Intelligence that blew their brains, they say I was a smart bomb. Creation, yo, ex nihilio, made out of nothing. Society is fake, it's a great amount of bluffing. Ancient books looking like they just came out the oven. Yes, yes, Mars of Vegas, living water, mystic order, Yahweh ain't as cold as his. Nag Hammadi codices. Lamb upon the codices, the solar bridge exploded lids. I showed the kids to stand on top of lotuses. Bible or eyeball, lyrics in the sky wall. Miracles inside Paul, my ministry. See men as trees, my enemies see in them easy. Right with venom, inquisition, writing still, leaving books burning like the Inquisition. Never ask forgiveness, astrophysics, back to business. Globe models hanging on my balls, call it sacrilegious.
That tells a completely different version of a story you thought you knew by heart. These manuscripts were hidden for a reason. In the end, Nag Hammadi's texts aren't just relics. They're a bombshell on traditional teachings, showing us just how diverse and dynamic early Christian thought was.
Yo, what's
Peace
up,
to
Dominic?
family. Hey.
Standing there closer. There you go.
How's
There
it
we
going?
go. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I just graduated.
Right?
All right, let's take a tour.
Where are we? Luke,
Oh,
tell the
yeah.
people where we are.
This is my gallery. My name is Adam Cohen. This fine establishment is called A Hug from the Art World. It's on.
Mm,
It's in Chelsea, in New York City, downtown, 515 West 19th Street. The opening is tomorrow, so this is a sneak peek, if you like, or the beginning. And it's called Open Eyes. And Luke here is the curator. This is his first exhibition he's curated. I think quite unusual, maybe, for a 14-year-old kid that just graduated middle school today.
right.
And there's a
Yeah,
number of
well,
artists in the exhibition, all from Luke's network. So I think the good thing to do here is maybe to give you a quick tour a little bit around the paintings in the show, and then we can go upstairs and sit down and tell you how the exhibition came about.
yes, sir. So,
All
ladies and
right.
gentlemen,
So
welcome to the Killah Priest Podcraft. Welcome to the new Royal Priesthood Wednesdays here, and we are here with phenomenal eyes. Okay, all of our eyes are open. All three of them. We got four, so all four of our eyes are open today, and we're celebrating the curation. You see his dad all the time, and he talks about young Luke. The Jedi. He's here to open our eyes one more time as we walk around this studio. So thank you, Luke. Thank you, Adam, and the cameraman himself. Painting the pictures for our mind over here in the background. John
you
Newsom in
need
the
to get
building.
his face on that. There he is. There he is. Peace, family. Salute.
So Anakin Skywalker and Luke Skywalker is here in the building with
That's right.
Obi-Wan
That's
Cohen.
why Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's right. I'm English. I'm the right guy, like you. That's right.
There it is. There it is.
Well, you guys want to begin at the beginning?
Yeah.
We'll go down here. This is, again, this is the name of the gallery, A Hug from the Art World. You can see that. And then Luke,
We have this painting.
go in there close.
Is a piece by Thematic. They're a duo. They're located in Germany. I really like their works. It's really cartoonish, but it's really cool. If you come closer, you can see that it's like the actual painting is like stitched together on like fabric, and it's really cool. Makes it look 3D and stuff.
Epic. And you said they're from Germany?
Yeah, they're from Munich.
Okay. They say Munchen over there, right? It's similar to Munchkin. Munchkin, Munchen.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Go over. Take him into this piece right here.
Yeah, we have these. These
Go.
two. They're by Urs Fischer, who besides my dad is probably one of my favorite artists. We got this piece from Gagosian. It's one of the best pieces in the show. And Dad, what's the thing? One's like has an AP or whatever.
There's two additions on this piece. Yes, an addition of two with an AP. Artist proof. The great thing with this Urs Fischer piece is when Luke told me the exhibition was called Open Eyes, he didn't originally say that he wanted Urs Fischer in the show until very recently. And I knew about this artwork because I've had a relationship with Gagosian, and I asked Urs and the gallery if they'd be willing to lend the piece to the exhibition. It's for sale, of course, it's on consignment, but they were very willing. I think Urs is that, in the spirit of having his own kids, was very happy to do so. But it was absolutely perfect for that show title, Open Eyes. It sort of brings the whole exhibition together.
It's definitely the logo for the show.
Yeah, I want to shout out AD for this because, this has such a beautiful symbolism in terms of the esoteric and the exoteric and open eyes and knowledge and the Podcraft and how to approach, life and substance and art. So I just wanted to throw that in. Shout out AD.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Zodiac had the line in the Nag Hammadi Z mix. He said, Bible or eyeball. And look, so look at it. It works.
Right. That's right.
We have these two pieces right here. This is by
Can you see
an artist named Elgit. She's really good. The brush strokes on both of them are amazing. She takes emojis and like photoshops them onto the background, and it looks really cool.
We've got a Pegasus here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so there's a lot of mythos happening in the pieces.
Here, that one's really cool.
Yeah, that's some Manly
Like a
P. Hall
Thai
secret
phoenix?
teachings of all ages, and there
Yeah,
a little bit.
that's right. Shall we go across to here?
This is by Matt Dillon. It's an amazing piece. It's great for the summertime. It kind of looks like you're lost and you're trying to find like your purpose in all that thing.
The thing I liked about this painting specifically was in this area here, it's as if the eyes are like being painted out, and it's as if Urs Fischer's piece, the eyeballs are popped out of Matt's painting.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, this is Matt Dillon coming from the film world into the painting world, and he has been a painter throughout his life, incredibly talented, and has known Luke since he was very young. So
He won't be here for the opening, which sucks because I would love for him to be here, but he'll see the show later. And here we have my dad's work, which is probably my favorite. Just because, the texture on it is amazing. It's really good. I think it's one of his best paintings.
You knocked it out of the park for this show. You went
for you two.
6 months on this.
Well, yep, 6 months, but knowledge. I also have to say that Luke was in attendance at the exhibition in Wichita, where the cover painting for Forest of the Happy Ever After was debuted. So he got to see that. And he also got to see the detail of Priest on the giant Jumbotron at the museum. You could see it from the highway driving by. It was incredible. And then he was also up in Vermont at the Brattleboro Museum for that exhibition. And then he's been able to meet Priest on several occasions through Gustavo. Shout out, Gustavo.
He's gonna spin the opening, which is gonna be great. Originally, he wasn't supposed to come, but I'm super grateful that something got moved so he can make it to the opening.
Yeah, so
he uses
producer
Jedi
Club's
mind
here
power
tomorrow
on him.
night in the house.
There it is. He uses Jedi mind power. He used the Force.
And here we go.
We should go up the stairs here. Luke, you want to talk about your boy here?
Yeah, here we go.
This is a work by Richard Jacobs. This is actually the first piece that I got for the show. And it's one of my favorite. I think it's a really underrated piece. This part here reminds me of like graffiti in a way. It looks really cool. It has a futuristic vibe, and I really like the colors of it.
And Priest and Solo Gem got to spend an evening at Richard's up in Vermont, and he and his wife had a bonfire after Priest's performance at the Stone Church. So I know Richard would want to shout out to Priest and Solo Gem too.
Yeah, you want to go upstairs?
Sure.
The walking life.
Why you'd never ask?
Upstairs is amazing.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's
See.
get this right here. Now, these three pieces are
Can we see
three
this?
collab efforts between Raymond Pettibon and my dad. My dad worked on the piers and all of them, and Raymond did his magic on the waves, and they're amazing. It's the theme of it is hippie Jesus shooting the Venice Beach pier.
Do you want to tell them what that means? It's surfer.
It's
slang.
like a surfer reference. Like surfers in Venice would try and like ride a wave like through the pier,
Mm.
and
so that's hippie Jesus riding the waves through the Venice Beach Pier in Cali. And here he is ascending, where it's just the
and
lone
controlling
surfboard.
the board.
Yeah. Raymond Pettibon, some of you might be familiar with from his work with Black Flag and Sonic Youth, as well as Iggy Pop and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is interesting because it's a crossover into the music realm that both Raymond and I share. And these represent the first physical pieces that he and I have worked on together. So they're very recent. They were made especially for Open Eyes. And they're going to be debuted tomorrow at the opening, 6 to 9, right?
Over here, this is one of my favorite pieces because of one little detail. Right there, there's the Wu-Tang W.
Can we see that?
Okay.
You got that?
Yes.
You want to tell me about this artist?
This artist is Erik Parker. He's always been one of my favorite artists because I love the abstraction and I love the geometry of that piece, which I'll get to later. It's a
Did he say Peter Parker or Erik Parker?
Erik Parker. I love Spider-Man though. It's a really amazing piece, and it's so good. The color on it is amazing. It's really good. And here, this might be the best piece of the show because it's a pyramid piece, which he doesn't do too often, but for this show he did.
Can we see that? Are we getting all that?
Yep.
The
Perfect.
canvas
Good.
is amazing. It's
Is that-
like 3D.
Is that Ice Cube there?
Is that?
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna
Is
turn.
that a young Ice Cube?
Yeah. There's Cube.
And there's some, so you should. This is great because they've got all these people that are collaged in.
DMX.
Yeah, there's DMX.
And another special thing about that piece is that it's glow in the dark.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let's just turn the lights off here. Hold on 1 second. Oh, you know what's up?
What was the last thing he said that was special about the piece? I want to make sure everybody heard it.
Glow in the dark.
Oh.
I don't know if it's glowing right now.
No, it is. Hold on. Let's just get rid of this light.
Yeah, watch this.
Technology over here.
You got it?
Here, I'm going downstairs to turn the light on.
All right. There you go.
You can get it?
Yeah, can you turn that one off? I think, or is that the light switch there?
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it. Hold on.
Oh yeah, this is getting it.
Now we're in business.
Can you see that
It
knowledge?
is. Definitely.
It's so cool. It's like a bonus bit. If you buy it as a collector, you get to live with it in the nighttime. It's like security as well.
Right.
And you see this here. And then,
And up here,
Don't forget a great piece over there.
yes.
a piece by KAWS up here, which is probably the biggest name in the show.
Probably familiar with KAWS.
Most people know him for his sculptures, but personally, I really like his works on paper and paintings.
KAWS has also done a number of album covers for Kanye West and Clips.
Yeah, they have a new album dropping. Did it drop? I think it dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it dropped a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
And
great album.
yeah. So he co-signed it for Luke, and
It's not for sale, but it's still an amazing piece. These are by Andre Butzer, who is another artist located in Germany. This one in the middle, the best one, I think, it is a gift from him to me. It has my name on the back signed to me. It's really cool. I love this style of this work.
one of the guests who's going to be in attendance tomorrow at the opening is actually Mitch Horowitz, who's been a guest on the Podcraft, as we know, and
Right.
has studied Agrippa, who is the ancient occultist Gnostic, and I can't wait for Mitch to see this piece and get a little bit of a story and interpretation from him. Also, Priest knows that Mitch is going to be appearing again on the Podcraft for a presentation on Manly P. Hall. So
Yeah, I
it's kind of
definitely got to be
interesting
in
that it's-
attendance for that.
yeah, that these are paintings on primed linen that have then been framed. So classical, traditional German expressionist, very poetic, so generous of Andre to participate in Luke's show. Andre is a very good friend of mine, a dear family friend. I've been exhibiting with him for many years. We own each other's work. So Luke has grown up with Andre's paintings and it has a real connection to this. So that's special.
When Luke mentioned that Andre was going to be in the show, or he wanted him to be in the show, when we first talked about the exhibition, there was a letter that went out, which was a letter Luke wrote asking Andre to participate in the show, and it sort of captured my imagination. And I had shown Andre's work in an exhibition in London in 2005 titled Timeway. And I had sold a number of works by him, works on paper. Back then, I think they were like €3,500. So, but like this is 20 odd years ago that I have a relationship with this artist. So it was pretty great when I heard that Andre was like the first artist you wanted to ask.
Yeah. Over here we have a painting by Sante.
You're a little louder. Step up.
I really like it. Originally we were gonna get a bigger piece, but I personally like this one more. He's a photographer and he took this photo of a car crash, and he takes photos of almost all of his works and like paints a portal around it almost. And I think it's really cool because I think the message is like, even though something bad happened to this car, there's still like a way to escape, I think, which the portal represents. I think it's really cool.
So this is a found photograph that he pulled from a journalism source material, and then blew it up on inkjet silk screen or inkjet, and then painted with enamel paint over the porthole, that abstraction that Luke was describing, just to give a little bit more clarity on the formality of how he uses photography in these particular works. Luke also mentioned that Sante is known as a photographer, and he has worked with the likes of Prince, Mary J. Blige, Heavy D, and he has his first memoir coming out in September. And he and Priest are in contact for a future dialogue as well. So it's great that there's some crossovers with the Podcraft with some of these artists here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
And this is a piece by Gordon Terry, who is one of my favorite artists who I didn't know before. I didn't know that well before the show, but my dad introduced his work to me, and I started loving his work so much more than I did before. It looks really cool. I love the abstraction And I love the background and how like the black fades into the green. It kind of reminds me of like a spaceship or something, kind of. It's really cool.
Maybe a nebula? Yes, and that concludes the tour,
No,
right?
it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't?
Downstairs.
That's right. Encore.
Uh-oh.
There's a third floor, Knowledge. Do you have any questions while we're up here? We can come back up here for expanded dialogue if you want to go down?
Yeah, let's go
Okay, let's go down.
You know I'm on my comic books. I'm waiting for the origin story. I'm all hyped up about the origin
Oh, yes.
story.
Yes. So now we're going downstairs to the third level.
Yeah, I want y'all to see the difference in the ages. Okay, we was running down the stairs when we were children. Now we're doing the walking life. Okay,
That's right, doing the
Shut up.
walking life.
doing the walking life.
Can we see that? Doing the walking life.
Yeah, we have 2 board pieces by Mehmet Kazim. These 2 are amazing. I like the one upstairs more, but these are amazing. I really love them a lot. They're really cartoonish, and I don't know what else to say really. They're just really good.
Yeah, they're painted again, and then they're
They're
woven.
stitched.
Yeah, they're stitched in here, so there is a physicality. And then the stretcher bar, you can see through the netting is also painted. So it's all of these. And look, there's some text under there, and they have a really good craft and physicality
It looks
to them.
like graffiti almost.
Yeah, it's very good. Okay.
And that concludes the tour.
He said, "Dad, let me do my job. Okay, I'm here
Right.
using the force,
That's right. Full force.
full force indeed."
This is a back atrium area where producer Plug's going to set up tomorrow night. So this will be open for people. It's going to be gorgeous weather. Just to give you guys an idea, if you're in New York or the tri-state area and can come through, be amazing. Love to see you and have you see all the artwork. Okay, let's go up here.
Dave, I'm gonna send you the link. You got to tell me about that Wu-Tang concert.
Is that David Flores?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out David Flores. Wow, amazing. Can't wait to see the film. And here we are.
Maybe, let me just see. 1 second. Where is that? Here.
Yeah, here.
Perhaps.
Luke, why don't you sit there?
Oh.
Please.
If I put this here, can you see the seating arrangement, or is it too difficult?
We could come in a little closer. Yeah?
Or maybe we want to
Well,
sit at the end there. Look.
If you put it down
Oh, here we go.
And-
Here we go.
and then
Yeah.
angle the phone. If you angle the phone, you'll be able to
Yeah.
fill up the whole screen. Yeah. Now you got
Can you still
a wider
get us?
range. Yeah.
Can you
You'll
still
get
get us
everybody
there?
will be in the frame now. Yeah.
Woo, good call, Knowledge. Yeah, let's just pull this out a little bit. Sit here, like we're at a cafe. A summer
Yeah,
inn
just be-
cafe.
Yeah. But I have to be a little closer to the microphone. I want everybody to be able to hear what everybody's saying.
Yeah, hold on a second. I think we've got a good idea. We should, maybe what we should do is 1, 2, 3, and put lean it against here.
That sounds great.
This is a better idea.
All right.
So look. Here,
Yeah,
lean it against that sculpture.
okay. This is perfect. It was meant to be here.
Yeah. All right. We don't. Yeah, we don't have any money, so don't break anything.
Okay.
Luke, sit here.
Love, here. Sit here. Can we get in here? Yeah, I think
I
we
think we're
can.
all in now, you see.
Yeah, look at this.
How about that? It's like we need to be even a bit raised. Hold on a second. I'm rearranging the sculpture. Don't tell the artist. Here we go. That's better, right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. So give us the comic book origin story, Luke. What was your vision going into this? And before that, take a moment to introduce yourself to everybody who doesn't know you,
Yeah.
and kind of give us the story on your vision on how you fell in love with the curation aspect of art.
hmm I'm only 14, but I've been seeing art my whole life with my dad since I was like 2 years old. I've been surrounded by artists, and I figured that it was my time to do something myself. And like a year and a half ago, I told my dad in Tribeca that I wanted to do a show, and you told me that I have to like go to all the artists studios and everything like that, and I had to take it seriously, and I did it. And we're here now. Tomorrow night is the opening, so hopefully some of you guys can come in. It's gonna be great.
That's beautiful. So you had the eye. You inherited the eye from your father, right? Your open
Yes,
eyes
I
in
did.
regards to art, but you use some technical words that normal people don't use. So, how did you immerse yourself in the art world to be able to begin to recognize certain things, and your own eye in regards to your own curation?
I feel like it just kind of came as I matured in a way.
So, a side note, you graduated today. You're
Yes, I
14.
did.
You're about to go to high school. You understand what I'm saying? So, what did today feel like for you? Putting that
Oh,
robe on, and then pulling it off, and then the W was right there.
yeah, I was wearing my Wu-Tang shirt under my gown. It felt amazing to graduate because I love summer, and I can't wait to do everything that comes with summer. I don't like the weather of summer at all, but I love what comes in the summer, and I was so glad to get out of my school. I really liked it, but it's just
Now you're on to your show.
I'm on to my show now.
So you got an education in both worlds. You got the academic
Yeah.
education, and you got the
Yeah.
art world education that was in your crib, in your bottle, intravenously.
Yeah. But
So
not only
th-
that, but also like real life education with with like seeing the studios and like understanding like just stuff about art. But also I learned some lessons from when I went to my dad's studio. If you wanna tell him about this about Rubber Arena.
Oh, well, Luke's been able to visit the studio a number of times, and I paint primarily large. And he's talking about a week ago, he was in the studio and a 15-foot painting had fallen on its side against another
mm,
canvas. And he and I had to straighten it back up. And it was physically like, I
It
think,
was like
walking through a canyon for Luke between these canvases to get to the other side. And I think it was just physically dramatic for him in a way that it's something like a studio story he'll be able to tell
Yeah.
down the road.
he
But
used the force.
he used the
Yeah, he used the
force.
force.
He used the force. And
Yeah.
he done such a nice job describing what happened because, like he said, we were walking in Tribeca a little over a year ago. He stopped
Mm.
me on Broadway and said, "Dad, I want to curate a show." And I said, "Okay." I got kind of excited about it, but I wanted to keep my composure. And I said, "I'll agree to help you any way I can, as long as you agree to take it seriously." And he did, and he just has done a great job. Did all the footwork, went out into the studios in Brooklyn, Manhattan, and then it actually brought us to a point where a few weeks later, I was on 19th Street in front of Adam's gallery on my way to another gallery. And I got a text on my phone, and I stopped, did my work on the phone, and I noticed that a window was ajar in the gallery. And I know that Adam sits by the desk sometimes to peer out at the passerbys, because if a certain person, whoever it may be, walks by, he can just pop out and get them and bring them in to see the show. I mean, he's old school, and it's amazing. So I had been there long enough where I knew I wanted to go in and pay respects. I did, and sure enough, Adam was sitting there. He has children the same age as my children, so we understand that language of fatherhood, and we started off there. He had met Luke, I believe, when he was very young, and so I mentioned Luke was on his way to camp, but that he was also curating his first show. And Adam folded his arms like he is now, and he said, "And who is in Luke's show?" And do you want to?
Yeah, so he told me one or two artists' names, Andre Butzer being one of them, Sante Dorazio being another, and I'm like, Erik Parker being another, and I'm like, hold on a second, I know all these artists. I moved here 20 years ago, and I have a connection with these people independently of Luke. How this is really strange. And I was like, and who else does he want to invite? And then he said, KAWS. And he was like, obviously, my dad's going to be in the show. I was like, oh, yeah, that's very nice.
Obviously.
Dad in the show, you know. So Raymond Pettibon, and I'm like, Raymond's an absolute legend of the art world and highly respected. And I was like, this is a great opportunity to, you know what, this is what I opened the gallery for. So I could just say yes to projects like this. And so I was like, you know what, bring Luke in, let's have a chat. And we did. And I was like, you know what, bollocks to it, let's just do it. I was like,
bollocks, yes.
And so we did. And for example, Erik Parker's in the show. You saw the guy with the pyramid. We turned the lights off. And I had seen Erik's work in 2002 in London at the Barbican Centre at an exhibition in what was called Young Americans. It was curated by Mark Sladen. And at that time, they were trying to bring artists over to the UK from America, and they were trying to put them in context with the art world in England at the time was kind of hot. Like there were people like Damien Hirst, the YBAs they called them, Tracy Emin, and they were known as the YBAs, the Young British Artists. So they did this show of young American artists to try and get British people excited about going to see the show. And I saw Erik's work in that show, and it stuck with me ever since. He showed with Mary Boone over the years. Mary had shown Basquiat in the 80s. I mean, that was her thing. So Erik's a very prominent figure. So I got the great good fortune of being invited to Erik's studio, which I'd never been to before. He was sort of a hero of mine because Luke had introduced this idea to me, and now Erik and I have become friends. And I ended up following Luke to different studios after he had been to go and introduce myself to the artists and see what was going on. And it's been a total great ride. There's artists of, superstardom on the international stage like Urs Fischer and KAWS. And there's artists like John are very well known, and he's got great, established careers. John and I know each other from the Patrick Painter days in the early 2000s in LA, and that's a whole nother story. And then Andre Butzer I know from back in 2005, and doing a show in London coincidentally. And these guys are established artists at this point. 20 years ago, they were really starting out. And then there's a few emerging artists in the show that I loved immediately. Helgeta and Memita Kazim, you saw. And they're coming to the show tomorrow. I'm really excited. And they've had great receptions of their work in Germany and Europe, but they've not really, Helgeta had a sellout show in New York recently, but it was her first. It's an introduction for these guys. And then a couple of John and Luke's friends are in the mix too, which is great. It gives them the opportunity to be shown in the context of the gallery in Chelsea and amongst their peers. And it's a thrill. I'm grateful for the ride, man.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Adam.
So Luke, you're bridging worlds together. What was some of your most memorable moments of putting this whole thing together?
Oh, I have so many. definitely just getting Adam to do it. That was like once I left, I was so happy. I was riding my skateboard down the street. I was so happy. Definitely when I found out I got KAWS, because that was a whole crazy situation, because there were a lot of times where I didn't know if I was gonna get him or if I was, and it was like a roller coaster. And once I found out that I got him, I was super happy.
Mm.
I'll do one more.
If I may, because I really want to thank Gustavo. I want to thank
Gustavo,
Producer Plug.
please.
Because one thing I want to note is that when Luke was in these exhibitions that had the artwork for Priest, and shout out again David Flores on the videos for Forest, they're incredible. Go check him out on YouTube if you haven't seen him yet. Besides Luke being at these shows, Gustavo was on the boots on the ground in Kansas and Vermont, spinning vinyl at these exhibitions.
And OKC, right?
Yeah, and Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
3 museum shows, and he's going to be in the house again tomorrow. And
I'm so
I just want to
grateful
mention
for
that,
him. That
because he's been touring with the Woo right now, and
Right.
and the Beatnuts, and
Right.
so there was a window between dates where he was able to be in New York, and he's going to come through tomorrow. And I just want to shout him out again because Gustavo and I, we became fast friends about 5 years ago already now, going on 5 years since the COVID days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a blessing, you know, and he's, you know, Gustavo's the one that brought me and Priest together in a real way. And I revisited the first episode of the Podcraft, which I've seen before,
Right.
but I revisited it, and it's interesting to mention right now because Z and Priest are on that episode, and that's 2019. Yes. So if you go back and watch that, there's this great dialogue between father and son, and then of course, like with Solo Gem and Priest, I mean, it's just so inspiring and admirable. The discourse of like, you know, the artistic and side of the experience, and then the knowledge that you gain from it. There's a passion there, as you know, and so I just wanted to shout that out to everybody, and you know, and throw that out there, right?
This is also particularly special connection and meaningful for me to be being brought into this family situation, because I can't even believe I'm sitting here with you, Knowledge, and then the connection to Killah, and then and the Wu-Tang Clan as well. I grew up in the northwest of England, in a city called Manchester, in suburban Manchester, just south of the city centre, 10 miles out. And I was introduced to 36 Chambers and Only Built for Cuban Links, Raekwon's album, as a suburban Manchester guy. We would sit in my friends. We were like posh kids. We thought we were the most street kids in the world. You couldn't even imagine. I was sitting in my friend's Jaguar that was his mum's car, in pale green. It was like a turquoise green, and we would sit there and smoke a joint and listen to these to the albums. I had no idea who anyone was. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And to teach my friend who I did this with, his name was Daniel Dale. He's no longer with us. He was my best friend, and he passed on, and he's a dear friend, and I just wanted to shout him out because he introduced me to these boys, and it was the most ridiculous. We were the most ridiculous children in the world. We grew up like with silver spoons, but you know, our parents tried to teach and instill some values, and they did a good job. We all try and hustle to make a living, you know. And his mother was like, you know what, Daniel, you've got to do some work. I can't have you just sitting around buying bags of weed and smoking them in the house. You've got to go to work. And she's like, He was like, you got to go and get a job. So she got him a job at the gas station selling cigarettes and doing pumps and stuff. And he didn't know how to get there. So he would show up in his Jaguar that his mother had got from the car. So we would drive past the pub on the way to it. You know, Daniel was at work because this like sick Jaguar was parked outside where he was doing a job as the gas clerk. It was the most surreal situation you could possibly imagine. Anyway, shout out to Daniel Dale, my brother.
Rest in peace. You bring the worlds together. So it was in preparation. Because you're dreaming, you have the ability to dream. You can envision things that people who have to work all the time can't. So honest to be in that environment, to be able to think, to be able to put something together and say, okay, this showcase, I can showcase art. I can showcase talent. So hip hop is a universal language and it transcends borders, races, colors, creeds. Everybody comes together, especially under the woo. So for Luke, using that force, that's the most recognizable logo on the planet. That somebody designed it, somebody drew it. You understand? A lot of mathematics, they designed it, they drew it, they put it out, and it became the bat signal for the world. So just thinking of those extensions in that way, right? That art has the ability to transcend time and space. If you go back 1,000 years or 2,000 years or 10,000 years, the art is what survives. It speaks to the heart of the culture. So if the times were contrary to the culture, the artist spoke about it. But if the artist loved the time, it was reflected in the art. So when you look at cultural narratives, one of the cultural motifs is the artwork. So the artwork was either in celebration of the time or rebellion of the time. So it's here and it's a testament. And it gets better with time. That's the thing that it appreciates. It doesn't depreciate. That's why the value becomes more intrinsic. This is why we have collectors. So we have musical collectors, we have art collectors, because the collective becomes something as an inheritance. So when I spoke earlier, you inherited your father's eyes, right? Zodiac just told me that eyes is Cancer, and we're in Cancer season, and Jupiter is father. So father to son, Jupiter sun expansion from father to son. So I said all that to ask you a question, Luke. How has your relationship changed with your father since you've been on this journey right here? And John, I asked you the same question.
It's only grown, I think. I mean, I've bonded with him so much with this journey, like seeing shows and doing all of the studio visits. It's been a wonderful experience.
Now, what about you, John? Looking at your son.
I couldn't be more proud of him because of his stoic nature and his openness and his kindness, his compassion. He's a wonderful listener. He's a caring soul, and he's got a curiosity to him, and a willingness to share with others in a way that has a intrinsic poeticness to it that I feel is a gift. It's absolutely a blessing. And when I was with Priest and Solo Jim up in Vermont for our time, I picked up on the same type of kind of feelings of mutual respect and camaraderie. And, that's what life is all about. And if you're fortunate enough to experience it and you can nurture it, then, it gives back. Life gives back to life. Life gives back to life.
Right.
And so very blessed, very proud. And again, thank you to Adam for sharing his wonderful gallery here with Luke and his vision. If I may, the title "Open Eyes" came from Luke too. That's his title.
It's all me.
And but what you were talking about the dream, the space between like sleep and being awake and kind of traversing both sides of that veil is something that I think he has really interwoven visually within his exhibition. And I like what you were talking about earlier in terms of how that might relate to a collector of music or the sensations of, say, an album, and how,
Right.
you know, the different songs can correlate together and yet remain individual for discovery, because it's about wonderment and it's about discovery. And that's what, you know, is so great about the Podcraft. All of these
Right.
minds come together in this ecosystem to share their perspectives and interpretations and relationships to life. And this is Luke growing into self-expression and a realization
Right.
of that through curation. So it's really
But-
awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, Luke, what are you listening to? What kind of music? I'm getting into your music business
Oh,
right now, okay? What's good music to Luke? It matters.
for me, I really like. Should I name my top 5 right now?
Oh man.
Whatever you like, whatever you like. You
All
talk
right.
about whatever you want to
I
talk about.
I really like Tame Impala. I really like Brockhampton. I like Wu Tang. My dad's introduced me to that. Um.
Tell me about ghosts.
Oh yeah, I met Ghostface the other night, and I got my
Eh.
36 Chambers vinyl signed. It was amazing. I got my picture. It was an amazing experience. Uh, who else do I really like? Uh, yeah. That's about it. That's what I've been listening to.
So what is it
Rainy
about their
Days.
music
That
that's
was
that's
a great
attractive to
song.
you,
Oh,
Luke?
Sorry.
I really like Beach House too, and I like Kanye. Yeah, that's my
Okay.
favorite. Those are my
So what is
favorites.
it about these artists and their music that resonates with you?
I like their experimental stuff. I think it's really cool and progressive, and it separates itself from all just basic stuff. I don't like basic stuff. I like artists who do their own thing and like create their own stuff and not like follow what other people do. That's what I like about them.
Did you hear him not like a music head, but like an artist head, like
Yeah.
one who gives the curation? So I want us to be able to tap into that kind of a mind. So that
Yeah.
scientific mathematical analysis that he just spewed off so easily, right? This,
Yeah.
this is not something you can teach; it's innate, but you can nurture it though if it's there.
Yeah.
So that ability to be able to nurture those things. So signs, angles, all of the things that y'all were talking about, the exoteric versus the esoteric, the
Yeah.
outer meaning versus the inner meaning of what
Yeah.
the artist convey. So you go from the vestigial cortexes, these two eyes, to the
Yeah.
mind's eye.
Mm-hmm.
So you see with your mind's eye, or with these eyes, but then you look into the mind's eye, and then you get where the artist came from,
Mhm.
their journey, and the goal is to get the people as close as possible. So in your curation loop, when you're describing a piece, you're
Mm-hmm.
taking them into a world. You're taking folks on a journey from an unknown space to sort of a known space. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever they resonate with vestigially, you're guiding them through like almost like a guided meditation in that walk through the artist's life.
Mm-hmm.
So we back at the walking life again.
Yeah. The walking.
Mm-hmm.
So Adam, about the gallery, tell us the the Superman story or Peter Parker or Venom. I don't know which character this gallery would be. Uh, so what's the story with the gallery?
Well, I've moved into America 20 years ago, and that's how I know John from early days of when we both used to be drinkers in a local pub. We were famous. We would be there every
Yes.
day. But we find sobriety. So I think part of the reason I've got my own gallery is about my journey of like getting out the way of myself and finding the time to be able to open my own space. I worked for 20 years at Gagosian Gallery, which is the number one place in the whole art world, honestly. And I still have a
Mm.
relationship with Gagosian, but I opened this space in 2022, and it's across the street from where I live, and it's slightly different than most galleries. It's a townhouse. I mean, in this neighborhood of Chelsea, where historically for the last 20 years there's been lots of old garages that were converted into exhibition spaces with concrete floors and white walls. Mine has a little bit more history. It goes back to the 1830s. It's an old carriage house and townhouse, and it's got a lot of charm. And after learning at Gagosian, working with the best artists, and I understood just by observing that space over many years, you know, it was very easy for me and natural for me to just come about putting on exhibitions, because I just learned so much by looking that when it came to my own thing, it just was part of my natural, like, visual vernacular and everything else. So it just came naturally. So I opened the gallery 22 to show artists that have otherwise been underserved, or artists that needed to be recontextualized, or for any matter, like emerging artists. And this is where I am today. I've done about six shows a year. This space is called A Hug from the Art World. It's slightly tongue-in-cheek. I always joke that I like to invoice, then hug it out. But I gotta pay the bills, man. But it's sincere too. I grew up in a place in the north of England where people are nicer to each other versus the rest of England, where they're all like, the furthest north you go, the nicer people are. The further south they are, they're more snobs. Don't get me wrong, I love London too, but there's just a different pitter patter. You know, people. My father was interested in art as well. That's how I got into it. But he was in the manufacturing business. He grew up in a Victorian house, very poor, in England, and he sort of skipped a generation, and one or two people took him seriously when he went to London to look at galleries, and they educated him. And this doesn't really happen in this day and age. So this is the background. I come from sort of like an old-fashioned art world background where, you know, I believe in the idea of educating, or you could maybe learn something from someone that is not from the same world as you. And you know, I don't have a hierarchy of who I want to do business with. You know, I'm very happy to spend the time and try and invite conversation and engagement, and for people to come in the space, and whether they're buying or not, to at least feel like they're welcome. And that's the most important thing. And so that's what I opened the space for. I got the name from a drawing made by a dear artist friend of mine, Joel Messler. And Joel, at the time, was an art dealer, and he was looking to, like, his art. He wanted to be an artist. He always was an artist, but it wasn't really going anywhere. So he gave me a few drawings to, like, sell out of my office at Gagosian. But I had one of them that was an image of his mother in a nightie with her arms out, with her boobs hanging out, saying, "I just need a hug from the art world." And one day I was looking for a business name, because I needed to do needed to start an invoicing entity, and I just borrowed the name from Joel's drawing, and I wrote into, like, whoever I was figuring out how to get a company with, "I just need a hug from the art world," and they were like, "This name is too long," so I just got rid of "I just need a hug," and I got a hug from the art world, and that's it, and it stuck. And everyone keeps telling me, should I change the name, should I not, should I do? And you know what, I kind of just thought, I spent 3 or 4 years marketing it, putting my own. I had merchandise, putting it on artists' heads. Like, you know how celebrities, the odd celebrity have worn my hat. This fabulous guy from Korean pop fame called Top put it on, and I sold like $60,000 worth of baseball hats overnight. I had to produce them because I didn't even have them. So I put them all out. Anyway, it's a long story. It started as a hat business and ended up as an art gallery.
Beautiful.
And, I borrowed the name from my dearest friend.
Yeah, it's a great origin story. Yeah.
So if you look at the pyramid picture, there's rumored in the world that the pyramids were built from the top down and not the bottom up.
Wow.
So if you relate that to life, your head comes first. You're built from the top down in regards to that pyramid structure. So the bottom up is how you stand upright, but from the head down is how you're created. So the top down approach, if the mind is sound, the body is sound. But if the mind is weak, then the body is weak. It doesn't matter how physically you are. So from the mind down, or from the imagination, right? So there's so many things in regards to what you just said, Adam. You know, another thing you inherited from your father was to be able to see the good in people indiscriminate to whatever walk of life they're in. So you and John met in the celebratory space. And because you celebrate life and celebrate people, I heard how you spoke about your friend. That's a grand connector energy that draws people to you. And it also repels some people from you. So don't take it personal. You emit a light and an energy that's an attractor to the right people and something that repels the wrong people. Not all the time, but 8 times out of 10, I'll say. So that ability to be able to be a progenitor with a name like Adam, right? Uh, the to bring things into existence, also to name them, also to give them purpose and power and light and credence. So something you saw from your art friend, you gave that hug to the world. And the universe gave you a hug back. You look at the Nike swoosh, just do it, and you think about the lady with her breast bare. That's Cancer. That's the mother of the zodiac. So the father and the mother together producing a child named Adam, and Adam is giving this hug to the world via art, via space, via facilitation. So these inheritances are great. So Luke, what do you want the people to take away from this exhibit tomorrow? And tell the people how long it's going to run.
All right, it's gonna run until like
August
mid
31st.
August 31st. So it's a summer show, and I want people to take away from this show that you to open your eyes, you need to sort of like have a rebirth. You need to have a rebirth, and that's what the show is about. I think it's about rebirth and like awaking from like a dream state. That's what I think it's about. But I want them to take away that you gotta take the bad with the good, and you gotta have your own personality, and you gotta just keep your head focused and block out the bad. But you gotta take the bad with the good, but you gotta stay focused, and you gotta have your own eyes, your own personality.
Beautiful, beautiful. So John, Luke, Adam, final thoughts uh, for the family. One more call to action about where people in the tri-state area can come to see this exhibit. All of the things. Anything else y'all want to promote? Anything else you want to shout out?
Well, I'll tell you. So the exhibition opens tomorrow. So it's welcome for all, 6 till 9 p.m. It's at a hub from the art world, 515 West 19th Street. Gustavo's going to be spinning. We're very thrilled about that. Party atmosphere. And on the whole, the gallery after July 4th weekend will be open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. But this weekend it's open as normal. But after the 4th, we changed to summer hours, and it's going to be I mean, this show's like basically like it spans 3 months: June, July, and August. And everyone's welcome. We look forward to it.
I want to shout out Killah Priest. I want to give love and light and thanks and man to Killah Priest. This platform is incredible. It's Luke, you did just such a wonderful job describing your vision and your ideas, and it's imagination. It's the image nation, and Priest, his music, his poetry, his thought process, the spiritualism, the passion. I always put that out in front of things in my mind that inspire me. And I just want to say again how honored I am to be a part of Priest's creative world. And thank you, Knowledge, for inviting Luke and Adam and I in to participate and share with the Podcraft family.
Luke, give one more message to the youth, the people that are your age, younger, older, whoever's in the time space continuum about their dreams.
Stay focused, and your dreams can come true if you put your mind to it. and cut out distractions and stuff that doesn't matter, and you got to keep your head focused, and yeah, that's about it.
So thank you all. I'm making a trip to see this exhibit. I'm gonna be in the city. I'm gonna have to set something up to be here. I definitely got to see this. Got to see the gallery. Got to shake hands with everybody so we can use the force. Okay,
Come
we
on,
can
come
use the
on.
force together. I get my Mace Windu on, or what was what was Billy D. Williams' name?
Yes.
One of them. Something. Sam Jackson and
Sam Jackson.
yeah, Mace Windu. Get my Mace
Windu. Salute.
All right. So I definitely want to invite y'all back to see how it went after. So, keep us in mind for one of these Wednesdays so you can come back on and tell us how it went. Definitely love to.
Be thrilled.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowledge. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to take a little commercial break and we will be back for part 2 of this Royal Priesthood Wednesday. I almost said wind down. You know what I'm saying? I almost said wind down. It's still there, but we transitioned it into Royal Priesthood. So we got a Royal Priesthood exclusive. If y'all want to stay for that, I'll definitely want to get your thoughts. We got a Royal Priesthood exclusive today premiere. So
nice. Peace to the Royal Priesthood.
Dear colony, I am gone and do not follow me. I left no pheromones. I'm on a mission of my own. Where I'm going is alone. Give the queen my regards. What I seen last week was so hard, she left my heart permanently scarred. During 007 hours during the Operation Termite Mound, I was left there bound. There was no food or larvae around. Our battalion searched the whole grounds. I was sent there with our liberators and corporals for some detainees on some classification of some other insects. Unknown, if they detest, we made arrests. That same night, the platoon had to find rest, so we slept inside of a abandoned trapdoor spider nest. The very next morning, who came in swarming with some trapjaws trying to fight our sect. The combat resulted in a few more deaths, but we sung our mantra. We are ants! We are ants! And the plants we must protect. During the daylight, we gorged on millions of parasites, cut in pieces so many bodies of mosquitoes larvae. We are the original army of the safari. We eat fly maggots, bed bug eggs, cockroach eggs. You should watch them, they crack like tacos on a tray. Our strong mandibles can crack bones and tear through flesh of insects and chew through tissue of any animal. We're the smallest but the strongest of the botanical. We are ants! We are ants! Stare at the word giants and you'll see our name. During our march, we carry rocks, we carry leaves, we carry grains. Our body is armor. In our sector, we forge nectar. We'll give our lives to protect our base. Even if bears want our honey, ask the wood ants, we'll spray phoric acid in your face. And it's not difficult when we get to the edge of a lake. We connect at the head, we connect at the legs. And others climb on top of us. They connect at the head, they connect at the legs. Over and over, connect at the head, connect at the legs. Patches of ants going over the waves. Now I'm at the end of my days, so I'm writing this page. As my heart beats slower and the time comes nearer, I'm also telling my story to a ladybug and a caterpillar. The ant slowly turned towards the caterpillar and started to cry and said, though I had many blessings, only one I was denied. The caterpillar asked, what was that, old ant? The ant said, before I die, I wanted to stare eye to eye and talk to a butterfly. and at the same time sell us the dope that leads to heart failures and strokes. Where do we start? Do we believe what the elders wrote, or the ones who watch through a telescope? The Illuminati cyclops, beast mark on every coast. The head of a cult, the devil goat that sits in a drum circle like a hippie, dressed like a gypsy. My best of rocket to nebula quotes is like Tesla notes. Now they got surveillance on Diddy. I'm a cross between Umar Johnson and Billy Carson. I told my grandmother that we are from where the stars from. I'm like Ron Hayes, but I'm Todd Wave with a blonde fade. Some days it'll be an orange braid, half shade. That's just his character. I made hair like lemonade. Both his parents come from Africa. Y'all know the prototype, it's the walking life. See, the sun is the source of light. They made my quartz bright as New York at night. They say when Walter Wright, he can steer Hathor to the boat of the moon. Into the cliff, sent to the glyphs to open the tombs. They say killer flows is like pillar protocols that fulfill the scrolls made of silver and gold. The bars I laid is like sculpted on the architrave. I wrote it like an art display with gods and goddesses with darker shades. I wrote it in the chamber, glowing like the child that was golden in the manger. Only 3 kings knew he was growing to be the savior. Okay, back to rap more about Hathor, the cow-headed near the Nile desert. Under the white clouds, the native dancing in the powwow. He wore the head crown of owl feathers. As the clan went from loud records, and priests and Jizza wrote their signature down on Geffen. And hip-hop's where I found the presence. The shepherds are coming down from Mount Everest, surrounded by peasants. With unclean skin disease, they called them leopard. I pointed a finger up and moved it around till I found the nebula. I told them I walked through Babylon, Persia, and Mecca. I talked to bees out their nectar, kings out their treasure. I've been counting ever since I've been walking. I started from forever. I've been writing on steelies inside of caverns where it's misty. Dealt tarot cards to the hands of time. Closed my eyes while the mouth of a cave kissed me. I gave the walls history. Y'all enslaved us all misery. That's why I shaved it off and came back bald, a mystery. I wrote it all on big slabs of lapis, lazuli, channel vibe to the candle fire. 12 candlesticks sits on amethyst. I write my scrolls on the clove of a rose. You see them when they unfold, the untold secret me and the queen bee hold. So when they make the pollen bin, I can communicate with the insect world like King Solomon. I mean solar gems, most roll to him.
Then I went rogue on them, those who stole my pen. Then I went ice cold as wind. Geminis, we roll as twins. When we take the mic, we're the walking life.
The D's rated houses looking for your favorite out of Brooklyn. Africa praises to the bushmen, to the natives in the woodlands, the raisins in the Juxin, through the mazes of the bullpit. They killed our saviors, re-raised us and made us into hoodlums. Malcolm X became one of the greatest out of the Muslims, except for this boxer who never went to Oxford, never became a doctor, but got the rings of the chakras. Cassius Clay and Hathaway passed away, saw dimensions. George Benson, could this be a masquerade? Preacher said fast and pray. My mother's not there, but I asked her grave. Tiffany's not here, but her ashes stayed. What word will Prince and Michael Jackson say? I was a boy, now the mirror showed me patches of gray. Then it got black, and I started like tapping into a haze. Dazed, the mirror said your hair looked glazed because that's how much passion you gave. This is what happened, you still rapping. The mirror became my healer when it told me I was a pyramid giver, a gold spitter and a soul filler. I came to slay the Antichrist. Walking life, walking life. Yeah, it's no prayer.
Walking man, thoughts expand, rivers in my orbits ran after me across Japan, mastered the default command, skin brown but so bright, the mirrors where I caught a tan, lost the pan's labyrinth, spirits move across the sand, but birds to fly, the words defy, but in exchange they lost their hands, appeared inside the jungle, in the bed upon a Moorish man, I'm multiplying, gold horizon, traveling, I goes Orion, burned the tree to 3rd degree, asking all the birds agree, I'm absurdly a giant, using bamboo just to stir the sea, watched across an island, suddenly cooked the leaves to turn to tea, smoking gun to smoking tongues, 1,000 leagues below Poseidon, fell asleep and felt asleep, woke up and I spoke Hawaiian, Kamakami homicide, my brain was never colonized, as angels, demons, gods inside, bakeries with prophesied, serving loaves of sermons, they all heard and drove in herds and droves to see me when I'm cooking up, I'm writing over burning stoves, while levitating lepretainment, search below the surface robes, service codes, words explode, Terminator circuits froze, zigzag zodiacs, killer that's in murder mode, I hate how serpent hurt the toad, I can make the sculptors cry, rivers undiscovered under colors in the sulfur sky, and inner child lullaby. Valley where the skulls are dry. Swimming this a coat supply of culture, most adults deny. Children see it, still believe it. Lyrics make your brains whirl. Zodiac charts inside the coffee cup. He made swirls with coconut creamer like he slowly watching paint swirl. Quiet child who clammed up, spoken, then it made pearls. Kai died twice like Mandela and James Earl, but only lived once in many bodies in strange worlds. My neck's a grail, chalice spinal fluid in the mind wine. They don't understand me here, I'm from a higher timeline. I wonder what the microscopic people on my spine find. Pro Tools arena, so cool demeanor, while my head and heart battle, that's old school Medina. Show and prove repeater, so smooth computer. I told you, Eureka. Zodiac and show theatrics, clearly they don't know the brackets. Nearly break your bones for practice. Think of kids who grow the cactus, marveled at my own exactness. That stand lethal from lowly maggots to holy maggots. Engraved sigil in the stone of Cabraxis, who kept his name hidden as unknown on the track list. Who rode a winged dragon on the road to Damascus, that kept his wings flapping on the throne of Galactus. No man can tell a Muslim from the bones of a Baptist. Dragon flame spit and turn the stones into ashes. I don't even mean music, but I own all the masters. If they ain't really government here, they're only actors. Farmers sat on lonely tractors, shaving over Hopi pastures. Only realized he giving haircuts to an Olmec after. Children in my gene pool and couldn't get a pool pass. Used to walk on blue moon grass, vision the cruel past. Astrologies take the wheel, now I don't need the fuel gas. My Uranus versus means I'm following the rules last. Back when I was formed, all the angels in the heavens stared. Sharp and swollen harpsichords playing over 7 stairs. Said a prayer, said a bear, my solar system set a bread. Know why I'm so fly, I'm flowing in the debonair, left the square. Anywhere I sit is an electric chair. Inside the maze I reached the dead end, and so I made a door. By just thinking, modern legend of an ancient Moor. When you die, the world dies, you who they made it for. The tallest giant made a glass ceiling, it became my floor. Lyrics in my brain galore, miracle they can't ignore. Zodiac, I'm the only man that time waited for.
Now, who were some of your early influences?
Well, the planets, the Creator, mythical gods, real ones, people, flowers, everything in nature, inspiration. Musicians get their inspiration really from environmental things, and all musicians are inspiration to me, no matter what style they're playing. Stoic silence of the oldest island begin to thaw, replaced by a growing comfort from endless wars. A sense of openness from the hopelessness of night terrors and war-torn. A culture hit on the tree whose roots go down to hell. A vulture sits, its fruits are strange. Comfort is the enemy of change. That's Buddha slain. Ostentatious displays of masculinity, master identity, clashes of chemistry, acts to ministry. They found ossuaries where Yasha was buried. Yale and Oxford is wealthy. That's where it's held in box with the Steelies. Sensation-seeking journalists, selfish collectors, thieves and lit professors. Search for leads to hit treasures. Forbidden fruit that Adam and Eve bitten together. Seductive promise, corrupt the conscious, curse of the monstrous. A bomb nuclear launches. Dinosaurs extinct, who instruct the comets. Destructive regardless. Buddha's twisted bamboo. The Messiah touch a carpet. Unspoken tension permeated the air. The sun show us vision, made perfectly clear. The whole solar system, from days, months to years, casting net over our tranquil existence, joy and tears. The town's whispers grew louder, weaving tales of a particular king of power, deceived as well. Conversation in hushed tones spoke of a clandestine underworld, King Tut's bones, the son of hell. Gray smoke filled the air, creating a nostalgic atmosphere, contentment, religious. In the quietude of recent years, a mysterious veil descended from the night upon the living. The sun dipped below the horizon. The streets took on a different shape altogether. monopolizing luxury cars, sleek and expensive, stealthy roll through the winters, criminal business with their wives and the fitness. Some took bribes, leads to a sentence. Some survive, codependent, now they co-defendants. Expose the witness through hopes and contradictions. Cellmates, ex-cons in prisons, killers with long convictions, addicts with strong addictions. Badges, they draw depictions. Priest and mystic, listen. My book fell apart when I touched it. Its pages turned back to a papyrus, then went back to a tree, to a seed of a mustard.
Every day's a lesson, every moment is a plus degree. When I reached the door, I discovered that I was the key. Rules to the heavens so high, it's all under. And yo, I fit 1,000 nation libraries in one mustard seed. I planted planets in the soil, grew them with the thunder trees, but lightning branches, stars as fruit. Second dances, sight enhancers follow, but the numbers lead. My novel is too much to read. Arm wrestle gorillas, now they groveling in front of me. This knowledge from a honeybee, competition runs for me. Obviously, never went to college for my son degree. Thought I erased light, when only darkness just remained immortal. When I erased light, I dusted him, and it created soil. Snakes that call you, raise the oil, praise the royal, slaves that toil. My hand touched frozen water, and it made it boil. Food inside my brain don't spoil, burning bronze. Word is bond, I flow like every word's upon a rose. Begun, I work my wand, I send a message out, and every creature in the world responds. They send their delegates from every forest, birds and squirrels, swans. It even made me say, damn, leave it trying to weigh grams. Unison, I pulled through desert eagles from my waistband. I flew away as UV rays in heaven. I'm a made man who can cause free will and destiny to shake hands. Definitely shape plans, trajectory remains grand. And even when they buried me, I effortlessly made jam. Fast they couldn't tag me if they messaged me with spray cans. I made pie from a piece of a divine apple, eating in my mind castle, frequently a time travel, leaving them with rhymes trapping, the priest within your spine chapel. All things are from the past, every seat a time capsule. See that they can sign maps you, diggities inside gravel, creeping up behind gravity. Reason why my rhymes baffle. Much to the move star, and saying look how smooth he is, I'm something like a juice bar. They bishops all accuse me of removing all the blackness like a substance that removes tar. Spirit free lyrically, I've come to take it too far. Few saw my feathers and they only saw a bird perch. In every culture, all they gods spoke of me in first person. Zodiac, Satan got the yogis round the world searching. Mold me from the dirt merchant, holy with the earth circling. My physicals and sculpts are fastened from a fist of mud. The flow that made the mythic flood. Missile scud, sigil thug, the engineer who stripped my code and wrote it in magician's blood. Man Samutra, man that super secrets to the clock council. Be myself, even if the people in the box doubt you. Teleport, I be myself, seems that they forgot how to. We the ones that the deities on top bout you. Lyrics beat the slide out you, see your spirit pop out you. Beating me and not bout to. Sequences I drop wild you. Risk electrocution, just a touch we call it shock value. Every day's a lesson, every moment is a plus degree. When I reached the door, I discovered that I was the key. Rules to the heavens so high, it's all under me.
Royal Priesthood Wednesday exclusive. Royal Priesthood. So some of the things you can expect in addition to the show dynamic is an exclusive. Something exclusive on the Royal Priesthood on Wednesdays. So the elite killer clergy, all kind of things are going to be happening. So that's just a way to set the tone in regards to what it is. It's been an amazing night, an amazing show. Open eyes. So if you're there, in the tri-state area, or if you in town, you come in town throughout the summer, they got the gallery waiting. So shout out to John, shout out to Luke, shout out to Adam for coming through today and showing love. You know, it's Cancer season, so it's the time for the family, Jupiter and Cancer. So all kinds of things is happening. You know, folks is in their feelings. Waterworks is popping and Cancers are popping, right? So the mothership of the zodiac is happening. So it's time for the zodiac accolades, right? So in the space of communication, it's going to be heartfelt. It's going to be sincere. It might be raw. It might be whatever place it is in regards to your emotions. Oh, and today is Jody's. Her born day is today. Let's see. Shout out to Jody. Okay, so show us some love. Happy born day to you, Jody. Happy solar return. Blessing honors to you, mothership of the zodiac. So it's your born day all year. All right. So shout out to the Cancers. It's your turn. It's your turn. So make your message felt, because everybody's in their feelings. So if you want them to feel you, make sure that it is heard, seen, and felt. All right. Heard, seen, and felt. Make your message count. All right. That joint got me in my feelings, so I'm gonna run it back. All right. I'm running it back in true Gemini fashion. Shout out to the Iron Software Hip Hop. The reason why we all here. The one and only Killah Priest. With this mustard seed, we must succeed. All right. So let's run this remix back one more time.
The stoic silence of the oldest island begin to thaw, replaced by a growing comfort from endless wars, a sense of openness from the hopelessness of night terrors and war-torn, a culture hit. On the tree of roots go down to hell, a vulture sits, its fruits are strange, comfort is the enemy of change, that's Buddha slain, ostentatious displays of masculinity, master identity, clashes of chemistry, acts to ministry. They found ossuaries where Yasha was buried, Yale and Oxford is wealthy, that's where it's held in a box with the Steelies. Sensation-seeking journalists, selfish collectors, thieves and lit professors, search for leads to hidden treasures, forbidden fruit that Adam and Eve bitten together. Seductive promise, corrupt the conscious, curse of the monstrous, a bomb nuclear launches, dinosaurs extinct who instruct the comets, destructive regardless, Buddha's twisted bamboo, the Messiah touch of carpet, unspoken tension, permeated the air, the sun show us vision, made perfectly clear, the whole solar system, from days, months to years, casting that over our tranquil existence, joy and tears. The town's whispers grew louder, weaving tales of a particular king of power, deceived as well. Conversation in hushed tones spoke of a clandestine underworld, King Tut's bones, the son of hell. Gray smoke filled the air, creating a nostalgic atmosphere, contentment, religious. In the quietude of recent years, a mysterious veil descended from the night upon the living. The sun dipped below the horizon. The streets took on a different shape altogether. Monopolizing luxury cars, sleek and expensive. Stealthy rolled through the winters. Criminal business with their wives and the fitness. Some took bribes, leads to a sentence. Some survived, codependent, now they co-defendants. Exposed to witness through hopes and contradictions. Cellmates, ex-cons in prisons. Killers with long convictions. Addicts with strong addictions. Badges, they draw depictions. Priest and mystic, listen. My book fell apart when I touched it. Its pages turned back to a papyrus, then went back to a tree, to a seed of a mustard.
Every day's a lesson, every moment is a plus degree. When I reached the door, I discovered that I was the key. Rules to the heavens so high, it's all under. And yo, I fit 1,000 nation libraries in one mustard seed. I planted planets in the soil, grew them with the thunder trees, but lightning branches, stars as fruit. Second dances, sight enhancers follow. Where the numbers lead, my novel is too much to read. Arm wrestle gorillas, now they groveling in front of me. This knowledge from a honeybee, competition runs for me. Obviously, never went to college for my son degree. Thought I erased light, when only darkness just remained immortal. When I raced light, I dusted him, and it created soil. Snakes that call you raised the oil, praise the royal, slaves that toiled. My hand touched frozen water, and it made it boil. Food inside my brain don't spoil, burning bronze. Word is bond, I flow like every word's upon them worlds. We gotta work my wine, I send a message out, and every creature in the world responds. They send they delegates from every forest, birds and squirrels, swans. The beaver made me say, damn, leave it trying to weigh grams. Unison, I pulled through desert eagles from my waistband. I flew away as you be raised in heaven. I'm a made man who can cause free will and destiny to shake hands. Definitely shake plans, trajectory remains grand. And even when they buried me, I effortlessly made jam. Fast they couldn't tag me if they messaged me with spray cans. I made pie from a piece of a divine apple, eating in my mind castle. Frequently I time travel, leaving them with rhymes trapping. The preach within your spine chapel. All things are from the past, every seat a time capsule. See that they can sign maps you. Diggities inside rebel, creeping up behind grab you. Reason why my rhymes baffle. Much to the move star. They're saying, look how smooth he is, I'm something like a juice bar. They bishops all accuse me of removing all the blackness like a substance that removes tar. Spirit free, lyrically, I've come to take it too far. Some saw my feathers and they only saw a bird perching. Every culture, all they gods spoke of me in first person. Zodiac, Satan got the yogis round the world searching. Mold me from the dirt merchant holy with the earth circling. My physicals and sculpts are fastened from a fist of mud. The flow that made the mythic flood. Missile stud, sigil thug, the engineer who stripped my code and wrote it in magician's blood. Man Samutra, man that super secrets to the clock council. Be myself, even if the people in the box doubt you. Teleport, I be myself, seems that they forgot how to. We the ones that the deities on top bout you. Lyrics beat the slide out you, see your spirit pop out you. Beating me and not bout to. Sequences I drop wild you. Risk electrocution, just a touch we call it shock value. Every day's a lesson, every moment is a plus degree. When I reached the door, I discovered that I was the key. Roots to the heavens so high, it's all under me.
The kind of minds that produced the song with this sort of production. Shout out to Purpose on this production, first of all, and then shout out to the Einstein for hip hop. You know, hip hop's vanguard, the Lion-O, Killah Priest. The amount of artistry that exists when these two minds come together is out of this world. The capstone of the pyramid and the capstone of the pen and period is what you get when you get these minds together. The masterful pineal pens with an S or a Z. The pineal pens coming together and conspiring for our greatest good. From a mustard seed, I must succeed. If you ever seen the size of a mustard seed, if you were looking for it in your hand, you might miss it. So this is all that is needed. This is the amount of faith, quote unquote, that's required to accomplish whatever thou wilt. That mustard seed that's planted or supplanted in the mind could either bring about the greatest thing that ever existed or the worst from that same seed of a mustard. That mustard seed of faith can move the mountains. So the lyrical cinematography that exists from these artists is unparalleled. Unparalleled. Then you add in the visual perspective, the melding of the two worlds from a cinematic space. Automatically, the lyrics cause your imagination that John Newsom was talking about to already paint pictures in your mind's eye. So this is a perfect addition to this open eye edition tonight, the reclamation of the art form, the reclamation of the artist is what the royal priesthood represents. You saw the spray can elementals in the video and sparking up royal priesthood. So the spark that's ignited within your mind's eye that you can see in your reality, something that you can craft and create in that space. So what is it that you do well to the listening audience? Think about your gifts, your talents, your skills. What is it you do well? Effortlessly. You don't try to do it. It doesn't feel like work. Think of your gifts. Think of your talents. Think of your skills and craft it. Put a little, that faith of the mustard seed behind it in the space of actualization. So take it from your mind's eye to your hands and feet and craft something that will move generations from now. And when they come back to its origin, they will find you. Create something grand, create something marvelous, create something that the world will marvel at. This is where the Marvel comic universe comes from. This is where the cast of characters come from. So imagine the royal priesthood comic con. Imagine royal priesthood galleries all over the planet where curation is given to the mind who crafts images that can heal you upon you looking at them. Thinking of the image in your mind begins to heal your body. The lyrics are something. I saw someone write penicillin, that a penicillin for the affliction. So, wonderful. 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 I got a deeper breakdown, but I'll save it. I just want you to see that Priest went from a mustard seed to Killah Priest to a lion. So look at the cinematic, lyrical, sacred geometry that is applied to the angular aspects of the being in your mind. So honest to the elite clergy of the royal priesthood, honest to the mothership. Ty Phoenix will be here in a couple of weeks to talk about her quantified experience out there in the Quantum Fest, the solstice weekend. Next week, we will have, hopefully, our brother, the general of the Low Life crew, Thurston Howe III, with his new video talking about his new album and some folks. So next week, we get into that space. So honest to the royal priesthood, Ty Phoenix, Kel Ripken. You seen him with his family, alumni, last week, and KAWS Zodiac. And, you know, the Voltronic force, Killah Priest, the multifaceted, the dimensional being, the grand unifier, and the life giver in the sun space that he is, bringing us here all together. So this is officially Royal Priesthood Wednesdays, and the craft will be on tomorrow. Shout out to Architect D. He sent me something with the Star Wars and the lightsabers using the Force. You understand what I'm saying? Using the Force. And, you know, shout out to Fourth Disciple. Shout out to True Master. I was striving to get Dave Flores in. So hopefully he's on tomorrow. He'll be able to come through and talk about that experience of, you know, the Wu-Tang sighting. We just had a Zodiac sighting on here. But the Wu-Tang sighting out there in California, it was great to see so many people in motion and so many meet and greet opportunities and after parties and all of that. It's a tidal wave. We were in California during the first tour with Nas and Busta Rhymes and, you know, everybody at the Staples Center. So, you know, we were in the back with Priest and some of the other people that were there. So we got a chance to see a whole lot of people come through that way. And we were out there shooting a Killah. So, you know, shout out to the director with the cinematic eye, Jay Black, the pragmatic Jay Black, and everybody in the family that was there in attendance to participate. You know, it was out of this world. Out of this world. So tune in next week. We got a whole lot more in store. So the saga continues. And as I said, tomorrow, the craft will be in Liftoff with Architect D.A.D., a.k.a. A Dizzle, in the family. So going to be an amazing show. So with that, peace, love, and see you tomorrow. Get those song promotions ready for the song promotion segment. All right. Before I go, rest in peace to the King of Pop. You know, today was the day of his transition, Michael Jackson, and happy born day to the young man who would have been 23 today, Tamir Rice. Honest to him and his mother, Samaria, and their family, the Rice family. So let's do better to save the babies. Peace, y'all.
Pain make the black fathers chain smoke. It starts to rain in the park, children playing on the swings. Marvin Gaye standing in his raincoat. Do you see demons in the flames? World made them go crazy till he seen the babies with the wings of an angel. They can't grow, it's painful. First off, rest in peace to Takeoff. His real name Kirchnick, Kyrie Ball. At the same time with Kanye, and Kyrie got involved. Oh wow, Kirchnick, Kyrie and Kanye. Guess that's the modern day KKK. Ancestors were slaves, now we America's plagues. Be aware and afraid. From Hebrews to Negroes, I heard the sequels fire and brimstone. Cause they put the messiahs on Skid Row. We were the providers that lift stones. We had empires with big thrones. We were never pre-owned, now we unknown. When I write I can see home. Before they put our seeds in the twilight zone. The enemies with the white tone. That gave us BET and EBT. R.I.P. to Nate Dogg and Easy E. Tupac Shakur and B.I.G. Shots for you all, and one more for Shock G. They on the ships as Anunnakis. When I spit, they transform through my body. They call it the gift of my hands when man first saw astronomy. Call me Gandhi or Godly from Mali. Spread love like I'm on Molly, but I'm as strong as broccoli or broccoli. They call me the Mahdi. The truth is clear as Saki. I'm headed through the spheres, the proof is here, the suits I wear is probably for the star seas. I'm the tsunami, split to both sides when I part seas like Moses. I wrote this is God disease. Hashtag, when did Kanye start talking like he's Razzcast? Who would've thought it, but we support it. Knowledge drop like a leaky faucet. Take ignorance out like a trash bag. Say the babies, we in the land where they made a graven lady. The great horde that makes war and takes your safety. Satanists, necromancers. Question God, the devil answers. Alchemists with bars, a metal handler. Or sit on a throne with heavy antlers. The golden deer, the chosen steer. It's more than rap in the booth, I'm a channeler. I sense rejection, isolation, and fear. And abandonment, our planet hit. Candles lit for a year. Save the babies. Stress, loss of control. Death, this is Hades. Bodies going up the pole. They feel lost in the need to belonging. I see the performance. Let's save our seeds till the morning. And place our greed in the coffin. You can actually see what I'm talking. I got the tolerance of Solomon. On my throne of knowledge in the outer realms. I see it like a film or a hologram. I see our babies going crazy. Infants codependent. With no opinions that's so offensive. No one to help them or show them business. So they are co-defendant in his prisons. But with the math, I'm the master of the solar system. I came in to craft to expose religion. But I'm good friends and good faith with the Jehovah Witness. And so with Christians. In Islam, I sit calm as I deal with the outer limits. I switch palms, I'm the old magician. Sleight of hand when I'm biting jams. My style is hitting algorithms. Balance wisdom, the salads heal them. Trauma from the mama, drama. I had rhymes ready to carry the summer. But I was never ready for the news, I had to bury my mother. I told my Aunt Cassie and Aunt Carrie I love her. Don't worry, no suffer. Fish and curry for supper. She's my Mary as I sit with the brothers. Maybe my last meal, Judas, came as a covert, narcissist. Arguments over if I had a deal. Bag of pills, 50 pieces of silver, I grab the steel. It's getting real, this giving chills. I written this will, understanding anxiety through a child's eye. Grew up on the wild side, expecting a storm, mad clouds in the sky. Saved the children, obeyed the healing. They played victim, became the villain. God favors Abel's offering because of jealousy came with killing. In the 60s we were proud of blackness. None of black queens and child are captive. Churches Alice to practice. Our attitudes are maladaptive. Our children play in the day, but at night the owls are active. Police proud with the captain. Big brother watches through clouds for our taxes. We stand on mounds looking up but can't see them like the meerkats. And fear that they looking down on our actions. Post-traumatic stress disorders. The IRS at our door cuz they took the law from us. They plan to build a super highway to try to escape and get arrested at the borders. Grandmothers pray, making a mess at the altar. It's like the old days, hair braids. Like the chicken necks, make an offer. Pray till it rains. Felt a hurricane over Mississippi to the whole South flood with waters. We personalized, we hurt inside. We never arrived, we first tried. 432 Hertz vibes. He must be doing the devil's work. This is Mr. Universe live. West is Yam, the East is Codeine. Teaming in South, let me even this out. They came from the North, which is smoke. Painted on skulls, the land of Canaan of old. Trading and enslaving the gold. Required by force. Wanted resources, he tribes on a horse. Uninhabited plots, that's why the unexplained gathered in crops. The whole universe is inside of an astronaut. They say Killah Priest sounds like when Prince first worked with Sheila E. When Michael Jackson first put on his glove. When the first disco balls lit up a club. When Bob Marley lit up his bud. Or Hear the Keys by Stevie Wonder. Or Hear My CD Mother. Save the babies. Government tell us we woke, and at the same time sell us the dope that leads to heart failures and strokes. Where do we start? Do we believe what the elders wrote, or the ones who watch through a telescope? The Illuminati cyclops, beast mark on every coast. The head of a cult, the devil goat that sits in a drum circle like a hippie, dressed like a gypsy. My best of rocket the nebula quotes is like Tesla notes. Now they got surveillance on Diddy. I'm a cross between Umar Johnson and Billy Carson. I told my grandmother that we are from where the stars from. I'm like Rod Hayes, but I'm Todd Wave with a blonde fade. Some days it'll be an orange braid, half shade. That's just his character. I made hair like lemonade. Both his parents come from Africa. Y'all know the prototype, it's the walking life. See, the sun is the source of light. It made my quartz bright as New York at night. They say when Walter write, he can steer Hathor to the boat of the moon. Into the cliff, sent to the glyphs to open the tombs. They say killer flows is like pillar protocols that fulfill the scrolls made of silver and gold. The bars I laid is like sculpted on the architrave. I wrote it like an art display of gods and goddesses with darker shades. I wrote it in the chamber, glowing like the child that was golden in the manger. Only 3 kings knew he was growing to be the savior. Okay, back to rap more about Hathor, the cow-headed near the Nile desert. Under the white clouds, the native dancing in the powwow. He wore the head crown of owl feathers. As the clan went from loud records, and priests and Jizza wrote their signature down on Geffen. And hip-hop's are where I found the presence. The shepherds are coming down from Mount Everest, surrounded by peasants. With unclean skin disease, they called them leopard. I pointed a finger up and moved it around till I found the nebula. I told them I walked through Babylon, Persia, and Mecca. I talked to bees out their nectar, kings out their treasure. I've been counting ever since I've been walking. I started from forever. I've been writing on steelies inside of caverns where it's misty. Dealt tarot cards to the hands of time. Closed my eyes while the mouth of a cave kissed me. I gave the walls history. Y'all enslaved us all misery. That's why I shaved it off and came back bald, a mystery. I wrote it all on big slabs of lapis, lazuli, channel vibes to the candle fire. 12 candlesticks sits on amethyst. I write my scrolls on a clove of a rose. You see them when they unfold, the untold secret me and the queen bee hold. So when they make the pollen bin, I can communicate with the insect world like King Solomon. Solar gems, most wrote of him.
Then I went rogue on them, those who stole my pen. Then I went ice cold as wind. Geminis we roll as twins. When we take the mic, we're the walking life.
The D's rated houses looking for your favorite out of Brooklyn. Africa praises to the bushmen, to the natives in the woodlands. The raisins in the Juxin, through the mazes of the bullpen. They killed our saviors, re-raised us and made us into hoodlums. Malcolm X became one of the greatest out of the Muslims, except for this boxer who never went to Oxford, never became a doctor, but got the rings of the chakras. Cassius Clay and Hathaway passed away, saw dimensions. George Benson, could this be a masquerade? Preacher said fast and pray. My mother's not there, but I asked her grave. Tiffany's not here, but her ashes stayed. What words will Prince and Michael Jackson say? I was a boy, now the mirror showed me patches of gray. Then it got black, and I started like tapping into a haze. Days. The mirror said your hair looked glazed because that's how much passion you gave. This is what happened, you still rapping. The mirror became my healer when it told me I was a pyramid giver, a gold spitter and a soul filler. I came to slay the Antichrist. Walking life, walking life. Yeah, that's my prayer.
Now, who were some of your early influences?
Well, the planets, the Creator, mythical gods, real ones, people, flowers, everything in nature, inspiration. Musicians get their inspiration really from environmental things, and all musicians are inspiration to me, no matter what style they're playing.
We are giving you these scriptures on our authority and by the authority of the prophets and the apostles who came to open everybody's eyes to the fact that you are too manifestations of the divine. This discovery is the gospel, that is the good news, with the eternal energy of the universe and the love that moves the sun and other stars.
When KP is silent, he's still powerful, like a pharaoh in knowledge. Y'all think about it, when y'all done, I'll be over to the next one. Giving your mind and your ears direction. What you hear is perfection. When you disturb the Egyptian kings, death comes swift on wings. Either kiss the ring or get bit and sting, or it's dimethyltryptamine. That mean you die while you trip off of beings. No human beings what you're seeing. Only me in a huge coliseum, with slaves following me to their freedom, with trumpets and swords and we taking out the kingdom. When I rap, I'm Lord, and this is my Eden. I write in my laws for the snakes and treason. Chariots out the floor that I'm placing my feet in. Horses pull my microphone cord, I take a seat then. We thrust through my bedroom door straight into deep winds. The crown of love, eternal light, glory, seat of the throne. I receive microphones, surely thine will shall be done. Because there's nothing new under the sun. The crown of love, eternal light, glory, seat of the throne. I receive microphones, surely thine will shall be done. Because there's nothing new under the sun. I wrote on steles and pillars of master killer and Jizza, and saw my own reflection crash into mirrors. The healer, shout out the RZA, the cure. My rhymes could be mistaken as cocaine lines so pure. I should've wrote this on aluminum foil, light a torch beneath it. To the room is fume with the royal, like Upper Egypt. Back in the days we used to fight if you scuffed a sneaker. Your name ring bells to the school if you snuffed a teacher. I used to rhyme off a boombox with a busted speaker. Back when Biggie and Tupac was just a feature. I started rhyming like I couldn't be touched by neither. I was only a child like King Tut, but deeper. While y'all poses on Instagram, I put roses in the pentagram. Scent in my nose when I kill a ram. I'm son of man, rappers think they goats, but they still a lamb. So I use it for a coat and to warm my hands. The crown of love, eternal light, glory, seat on the throne. I receive microphones, surely
Thine will shall be done.
because there's nothing new under the sun. The crown of love, eternal light, glory, seat on the throne. I receive microphones,
Surely thine will shall be done.
because there's nothing new under the sun.
Meet the great eyes, Moses like a rocket cane, then turn into a serpent in my top reign. I'm certain that I'm not saying the end is near. Engineer service in the clock train. Glock range, Dr. Strange, linears, hemispheres. Hammers from the top crane while handling the rock cane. Ran before the cops came, this manual was not named. Now they call me Rock Kane, the spotlight cool Jesus rapper. Half a brigade and half a militant, he's the master. Read the chapter even after I can hear the demons' laughter. From A to Z I found each letter between. Written by Allah's hands, every step is supreme. Blew across the hot sands, turning breath into steam. Make nimbus clouds by dining on electric cuisine. In the center of it all, but still never be seen. The memoirs of Superman who flew ahead of his dreams. Clan of the 10 planet spheres under one roof with me, combine them all. Made a W, like there's two of me. You guys, you gotta feel it like your moon degree. But who would see the breeze who stole heavy? Mental riding on the ferry. My flow across the wave valley, riding on a jet ski. Turn to heavy, getting to heaven like the science has possessed me. Spirit in the body, use the iris to impress me. Calls from the astral plane, need a psychic to connect me. I gotta hand it to him, knowing lightning couldn't catch me. Run me the procedures, sweet as honey Indonesia. Staying on my D-Nars like money in Tunisia. While they studying how Nas ticks, I was with the Gnostics. Until I started rapping like I couldn't be touched by either. From 5%ers in intelligent hoods to God MCs, I was God, they was never this good. Heard the silence swept the room like a ghost when it's calm. And said you took their breath away, how they supposed to respond?
The crown of love, eternal light, glory, seat on the throne. I receive microphones,
Surely thine will shall be done.
because there's nothing new
Under the sun,
The crown of love,
eternal light, glory,
seat on the throne. I receive microphones,
surely thine will shall be done.
because there's nothing new under the sun.
Since inspiration always comes through a human vehicle, whatever truths I might utter to you will be distorted. My voice will be distorted, and you might mistake the meaning of what I said. Now, so therefore, everybody who receives divine inspiration, sometimes it comes for no reason that anybody can determine, and you can take that or leave it.
High, the smoke rise, they ghosts fly, they both died. They throw tied on the goat hide, sacrifice them all to wall. Rain fall, while tears pour, my ears sore. Pagans don't hear law. Theodore, the old man stumbled from smearing off. Weird cough, appeared lost, brushing his beard off. His lady riffing from a distance, wishing he cared more. Tobacco called bear claw, the back of his hair gone. I'm writing in rare form, throw light in the spear storms like a titan with hair blonde, or Viking in gear bronze. My mic like a magic wand, daggers in palm, Pythagoras psalms, the master is calm, relax moving his palm, near pawn, puffing the bomb, cuts in my arm, strong, a couple of charms, a couple of oolong, we smooth when we crush a new song, purpose, we write verses to his curtains we gone, Abraxas, Revis, believe it, if I can see it I'll achieve it, the semis for the dinner when I eat it, the thrones is only two-seated, and you ain't Mike Jack so beat it, you're like Drac anemic. Salute, empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man, the seed of Abraham, I am empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man, the seed of Abraham, I am the hypothesis of Herodotus, gods and goddesses, the Eden garden to the apocalypse, religion and politics, arguments between fools and true scholarship. Nowadays everybody's a narcissist, schools are targeted, no jewels, names anonymous, everybody's making claims and say it's consciousness. Laying hold to Egypt, hieroglyphics, Bible scriptures, Apocrypha, and the Josephus, the book of Enoch, of those who pushed it to knock, and the scrolls of Jesus. Masons things told in secret. The only ones that wear the red robes can keep it. Next to King Solomon, the widow's son, and the deacon. Just speaking, and my flow chastise demons. Give them bad vibes while teaching. 12 from every black tribe is leading, along with 12 rabbis and magi's believing. This fiery hell breaking the spells of the heathens. Empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham, I am. Empowering thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham, I am.
I am the God inside the son of Aries, son of Mary's, summon Aries, still on top with none compare me. One of one with none compare me. You won't like me when I'm angry. Turns begin to someone scary, sun canary, sunken berry. What a query from Temeri, ram the health data for the universe. The sun declared me Taurus ox and Taurus socks. Sleepwalking, I fought a fox who taught me how to walk through blocks. Torbakuno, daughter knock, Apocrypha, the laws of Doc, Pentateuch, Pentateuch. I can cause the pen to talk. My body gives it Morris Moss looking through the bullseye. I can see the aura watch, but the all is not. Calendars and tortoise tops. Gemini outthought the clocks. Listen hard to thoughts of rocks. Hitman, lyrical bartender, they call the shots of everything they fought to stop. Ship at the unorthodox. Picking up the signal from the sigils and the water drops. Making calls all wars to stop. New Neo and Bruce Leo. Roy John of Architect 9 neath the cathedral. How you hypnotize all of the mind readers is reading you. Most High who made me up from lies that's completely true. Virgos, fur coats, fashioned from the ether zoo. Magic man from deep Peru. Theta Gamma, ancient grammar placed in amber, nail him with the Abraham Arabi. Medusa's head turned my hard drive to something floppy. One look I nutted submit, and that seems meant. Typically Illuminati, hit the L like you in hockey. Mr. Superman, Asasi, Planet Rocky, ran with Shakti. Every verse an ace, never seen me dip the new Versace. Birthday suit and title wear from fashion in the human body. Libra Liberace, weight decisions on the dragon scales, imagine it. I am a jinn, either mage, am I the ancient book of rhymes? I took my time, no I don't know if I am aging. Zodiac, my skin broke the spikes inside the Eigen maiden. How great I am at this. Punch it like I am a fist for one, so I am you. Let me show how I outran a jet. That I am you lit. I am legend, I in heaven. Follow all the planet steps. Knowledge you can't handle.
Thoughts, a force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham,
I am.
A force, creation of man. The seed of Abraham,
I am.
Silent. Rain and thunder, the pain I'm under. Paranoid, I keep seeing the same numbers. Even on the train that's coming. Lights in the tunnel. I'm standing at the terminal of eternal jewels.
God is love. It's either you just did. The same thing that created the tree created me. The same element that created water created you. Same element that creates the wind and the rain created woman. God is everyone and everywhere.
I said it before, I'm a melody, a metaphor. I'm the L-O-V-E, comma, MC, comma, mentor, comma, Assalamu alaikum, breaking, Satan, embracing the day sun with night arms, quite calm. You see peace as we sleep, as you stare in the spheres, you hear light bombs, distorted noise, distant thunder, a sense of joy and mystic wonders. Spring is escorted into fall's courthouses in the winter season to visit summers.
The moon and the stars, the fields full of grain, the soft summer breezes and the mountain rains, it all belongs to my Father. Abba now is Shabbat Shemayim, Orion, Holy Mount Zion, snowy owls flying. I watched them closely, then slowly they morphed into Kobe Bryant. Talking, what is he saying? Then behind them I saw thousands of musicians playing instruments, intimate, actors and entertainment giants, masters of science. Get a path with their guidance. I'm in the craft when I'm writing. I am brass, I am diamonds. I wear a mask to keep them shining. I believe in man. I believe in woman. I believe that we can change anything that's wrong. I believe that God gave every man and every woman the power to change, to cause effect, to treat people decently. We have the power to feed the hungry children or not to feed. We have the power to give and administer justice or non-justice. We have the power for everything.
I dissolve the Old and New Testament like it's a peppermint. These gospels open up my nostrils. The treatment's like a medicine. It secretes within my tonsils. Then I speak counsels to my apostles. Like it's heaven sent, like Jesus in the Nephilims. I'm in past and present tense. To a master devil Schmidt, to the upper class of presidents. Whether testosterone or estrogen.
Wait a minute, the colossal bones left evidence. Paintings of these ancient astronauts on these stones or copper tones. Solo, let's make an instrument. Chisel, now place the rocks on his phone. Then put it in his box that's unknown. The sun is hot, ozone, layer, prayer, watch. Time stops the invention of hip-hop. This is a microphone. The scenery is like a twilight zone. That's how I write poems, as I hone in my third eye cones. Then combs through ancient black civilizations and highlight thrones. Blood type Israelite to the real Christ is shown.
Do you believe in God? That is God to me. God is trees, air, women, men, children. We are made in his image. So my philosophy is if we're in his image, we must really be close to him. So man and woman must be a part of him. That is God.
Fire worshippers, Abraham followed Ur. Abraxas, Sax, priests, honorable and hollow words. Same word, sages of the ages, and prophets, Coptic, Gnostics, and apostles heard. Then those sinning, unfinished, now it's written in the ribbon, and held by 4 swallow birds. Beneath Abraxas practice, in the blackness, seance, each one of my classics. Burn a candle, the air new with bottled myrrh, and Quetzalcoatl and herbs. Preach the novel and the marble Ben Hur. A gold icon of Basilides of Alexandria. They sold to Italy from a palace out in Zambia. Stole from Sicily, Africa towers over Pangea. Amateur, reaching for my pleroma. Deep sleep in yoga. Psyches like the Pisces of Jonah. Tertullian, so I get the nutrients and come out a Nubian. I'm not talking about the ancient Natufians or hooligans when I'm putting out something new again. Let LF tell a death. Me, I'm an embellish on the angelic. Holding the mic like a relic. Last one left. Priest and purpose. Living footprints deep in the surface. Enough to be called a crater. Meditating in the Tibetan hall in Asia. We all evolve from nature. The ink shooting out my pen like flaming balls hitting my paper. I grab the dark horns of archons and star forms. The bars drawn to give you Mars floors to walk on. Epiphanius, Arrhenius, Hippolytus, sit by fire. Different writers sniffing coke. Who's the most highest? Baptizer, Holy Ghost. Santa Morte, Phantom in all gray. Stands in the hallway. Head of a ram, put hands on your grave. Purpose, let the chords play. Priest never had an off day. Never let my sword lay, so all pray. Work from the bottom like Noah. Meditate, I slip into a coma till I reach my pleroma. My gospels go spelling.
Watch how you speak to me, my bars on guard frequency. Your arms too short to spar, even if you in arms reach me. Discard decency and ours are resolved peacefully. Heavily armored bombers when commas involved. Frequently secrecy, coded language in cryptic forms of mystic norms. Monolithic lords and suspicious storms. Prolific born elaborate author of emerald tablets, so I packaged it for wise men and abbots, extracting the gems that's trapped in it. My pen's mastered it, astronomers tone. They've written books based off on poems for clone philosopher's stone. Behold progression, the father of all perfection. The wind carries my sessions and travels in all directions. It's evolution, manifesting purpose was sparked. The works of art brought to life by the birth of a thought. So serpents who clark it, smite it down. Mark it, book it, write it down. I am bound to peek around and found out when I struck the ground. Thunder sounds broke the sky, open for my potent rhymes. Soaked in blood, the chosen rise. Floating, I awoke in my inner beast with synergy, giving me Christ consciousness. My mic will ignite, throwing embers of light off of it. Know who the prophet is, the great Archon Abraxas. 7 classic planets commanding and chanting the lands with magic. Decipher the name through numeric tactics. 365 heavens, ascension axis. Relentless practice, tragic. Read the Shimha, the great work redeemed through alchemic means of grim bars. From shadow known to dim stars. Blow within the coldest men. We overthrow like Moses can expose his sins. That's where my flow ascends.
My right hand is a symposium of holy men holding pens. Each tunnel out and go to gym, then barrel back in. I sit as the pharaoh of rapping. I flow like I spoke in hymns, Catholics and masses. My cathedral cerebral, blood on Abraxas. On my back's a black eagle, medieval. Steeples from ashes. I rose up, wings tucked, king tut, gold rings, emerald green cup, queen's blush, Raymond Magnum. My egg-shaped skull, the phoenix dragon. Come through the mall, all of y'all human beings are savage. Wishes are granted if you're left-handed. Toe text, old max, written in old text commandments. Sun, moon, stars, and planets. My Xbox-shaped object just vanished. Chariot of ascension through dimensions. Did I mention his extension of Atlantis? I'm the phantom. I wear the face of space and a million grandsons. Each change place from black to white, from white to random. Master like the yin and yang symbol in temples. I like my money blue and green like ours are the Hindus. Priest and purpose, the wordsmiths, this beat is monumental. Christ consciousness, bow down and honor it. Yeah, we deal with the waters, Noah's Ark. Now we deal with astronomers, show you the charts.
Composed of 12 signs, 10 planets, 12 houses, aspected by these ghostly marks. Behold the spark, shown to be a gnosis tree with golden bark. Saturn by a chest, a cat and clism who gloat in the dark. And Noah's Ark, Nova's arts, planets spoken, making points, sharpen up the throwers darts. I was in the oldest quarks, Superman, I strolled in Clarks. Mother plane, drive the planets crazy, I threw it in park. Ball of frisbee, time will turn it all to cities. Jungles took it all so quick, the plane became the earth. Hawaii, the apple, macrocosm of the human heart. I showed the card, future charts, hidden Andalusia art. Bullseye, Taurus field of vision, saw his own remarks, remarkable. The stars go, lightning in my sword glow. My spirit fought to have my body playing tug of wardrobe. Study supreme math, arcs, angles, the archangels. Virgo clean the satellite, dishes off for the star table. Scorpio wave sign, intersects. I took up lust, double cross, right bed, intersects. I took a plus, spun it, then it multiplied, reproduced. Now look at us, shocked when I merged both 8 points. I made a universal flag out of the snake's joints. The serpent goats, compass of the zodiac, fate points, virgin host. Infinity is infinity. My cup overflows and refills instant for me. I drink from my own brain, from the business I see for. Everything was 8 by 8 to 64 chess squares, so they stared. No one's ever been as lit before. From the pleroma of the thrifty Mars that drift ashore, the broken winged people free falling down to 60 floors. Demiurge and venom serpents, been the current's time talker. I'm Luke Cateless as a baby, used the Skywalker, walking life with thoughts of Christ. They walk in death, they thoughts possessed. Money was the goal, they thought, then lost their breath. Thesaurus Rex, moonwalk the green mile backwards by my orange dress, put on my flesh. Use Mars to eye in my skin suit. It turned brown, circle mounds, lions play wind flutes. My brain erupts, their rain is up, they staying stuck in Satan's crux. Strut around the sacred grounds, kicking up the angel dust. Following the pathematics, mathematic elements. Thine will and testament, mind skill is excellent. Zion log with me, your spine chill, the exorcist. Legged eye and eye exam, labeled in the diagram, great I am. Once the y'all saw me, all the ligers ran. Racks and Zodiac is who won't smoke with the highest ram. Shepherd here to guide the lambs, Messiah man, Messiah grand. Well of Zam in my diagram and my command. No pad elixir, Boaz constrictor. Beneath apple bumper clock, throw jabs at Mithra. Hieroglyph and hydrogriffin, pyro spitting, fire wicking. Roll the tape, the time is sticking. Clock inside the diamonds ticking. My dimension, my henchman, my ascension, time suspension. Master builder, walk amongst the strangers and still act familiar. Time is up, some master killer. Holy rhyme book that I used to light a match the gorilla. Smacking silverback gorillas, Mr. Zodiac Attila. Medicine from sarsaparilla. Temple with two lions on the side, call them caterpillars.
Here, the centuries of loneliness were to end.
Your collection of Leonardo da Vinci masterpieces, Mr. Flint.
They appear to have been recently painted on contemporary canvas with contemporary materials.
Then, age, death, the taste of dust. Do you understand?
You wanted a perfect, ultimate woman. As brilliant, as immortal as yourself. Your mate for all time.
Merkaba master, I charter demons to other worlds, drive devils to plaster, rush them to hell, breathing asthma, place Satan on gurneys next to Hermes, send them off to their journey to Cleopatra. They read those chapters, egos captured, the Leo laughter, neoplasma, run through my veins in this matrix, and my basement became a plaza, and now I'm in the Sky Lounge with negative spirit hackers, build on math and we read the chapters, observe through our windows at the quiet disasters, riots and NASA, marches, gender pride, freedom rights for the masses, till we do away with first and second citizen classes. Religion is backwards, trying to comprehend to the pastor. This gym is like Jasper. Either we all live and strive for the youth to survive, or it all ends with the rapture. Forget waiting on the man, I'm making a plan. And for the ages of false statements, I'm taking a stand. Start an investigation on Satan with a cross in my hand. Make him plead guilty, now face the jury. We're in the courts of I am. If I could just vanish from off the planet, like magic, become caught from granite. Days, mathematics is understanding.
Hey, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear. Oh, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear.
A billion stories in the naked city. Ghost told me that his best friend needs a kidney. We froze, reminisce of Tiffany in the cold, open whiskey from the 20s, in the memory, sympathy, made the angels play a symphony, said he could've had a scholarship, toured different colleges, now he's out of it, fading away slowly on dialysis, his name remained anonymous. But here's my acknowledgements. Street legends and hood gods. Kingdom fall into a mirage. Ghetto depression sets in. Then we place weed and cigars. A child has difficulties concentrating. From where he lives, he sees his promises fading. He sees his pops gone, his mom's is aging. She trying to stay strong for a church congregation. And meanwhile, a kid named Rico was the coke king. A lot of siblings are the dope fiends, hope you scream. A lot of children with broken dreams, homes were clean. The most extreme, you got rich and what you sold to queens. Look what you did to Josephine. And Ebony is unheavenly. The devil's ready with open wings. As Lucifer uses love and his youthful mug. Then his blood on the cobra's fangs.
Hey, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear. Did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear.
go through the myth.
Long black eyes, on both sides counting in the 5. In a tree above the ancient tribes with hives lived sisters that were all small in size. In the morning they would all rise and buzz above the buds, waiting for the opening of their love. Amongst the bushes and the tree shrubs. In Mexico, the old Mex would wait for them because they pollinate their cactus for the tequila. They were simply known as the healers. These small beings were winged and they had stingers to sting to protect the queen. They were responsible for peaches, oranges, and apples and nectarines. The color of their bodies were yellow and black. The rest were rings. The insect for kings. On a full moon on the right night when it's totally dark, the queen of the bees come out and talk with the wasp. We have all our ancient ancestors encased in amber. Great bees from the past that protect us from the bear and the badgers. They are the masters of the pastures. The wasp spoke off top. I scavenge from the bottom during autumn. While y'all fly above the garden looking for pollen, I see a problem, cause I search amongst the doom beneath the moon. While y'all eat that which bloom and blossom. Quiet, the possum. They tell me you have magic royal jelly. Y'all really came up since y'all evolved from us. And y'all from the ants before y'all were ever was. The universe buzzed. We all can agree that the breed gave rise to the plants, and plants gave rise to the canopy, such as the banana tree, the different strands of weed. We are the bees. Since the larvae we were godly. Our colonies are responsible for spinach and collard greens. Y'all are solitary, the ants have an army. We have workers and servers and drones inside our comb, high above the Tassili stones and the pygmy homes, before people unknown, places where gypsies roam, encased inside a hexagon-shaped cone. The sweetest taste that man can't duplicate, it can't be recreated or grown. Before the flood separated countries, before Egypt had mummies, the bees made honey. Venus of Holophels, victory visits Valor Vest through Vortex, Stargate, the tarot card shows Ptah face, the goddess vape while I cigar taste, priest, I'm camouflaged within the grates, I channel into stars then disperse around space, sit candles in the Mars, then the verses I create, each bar becomes a god, past times, different place, while y'all on Instagram, I microdose with 1/10 of a gram, the mics I broke with the strength of a ram, took my rights, Jim Crow said I'm only 1/5 of a man. Now you can see the whole God that I am. I consume the whole mushroom. To whom much is given, much is required. Trust your Messiah. I'm a monsoon, a typhoon, clusters of fire. Big hands reach out the jewel, clutching the rider. What's your desire? To rule. My heavy mental became an empire. With the symbol of 10 bulls, it's simple, I reign wiser. My temples are raised higher. Explain firmly. Hermes, Trismegistus, and lyrics that specialize in the pyramids and physics. It's mesmerizing for human ears to hear this. My nebula guidance, soon you feel this weirdness. Your blood pressure rises, you get cold as the fear grips your soul. The sheer bliss, you go, spirit from bones. This way into the vape room. Read my Vedas, may make you wanna take shrooms. Be free in nature, can your nostrils take fumes? You need the gospel as you face doom. I lay in tombs and ski on vapor. The Kabbalion, 528 hertz the volume. My verse is like the universe is falling. I search, there's no human worth my calling. The whole earth, every womb, every coffin. The Hermetic hookah lounge. I'm in the back, I'm not used to crowds. Sudden movements and groups too loud. I just lounge in my suit and crown. Cigars in the cog, red shoes on the towels. Wild style when I blow a cloud. Women get aroused as their attention swim around. It's written down, pen is swung like a pendulum. My writing is psilocybin mycelium. Bicentennium, bodies and drums to next millennium. Reptilian, next get rung, I'm killing them. Since Da Vinci carved this demigod. Called the priest cause he knew I came from the infinite divinity squad. Heru, Nimrod, firestones engraved to the Templar. Priest, I rise upon the throne where sages grew, Avenger.
Play more Killah Priest.
King of Dadanari, speaking wise words to Matani. Dress godly, the book of Proverbs I embody. Student enrollment, my music's golden. With writtens that influence my opponent. I'm fluent when I'm flowing. The words from faculty to nurture, carved out in murder. Priest rockin' cherry, that's from Persia. Write rhymes using old English curses, like I'm from 685 BC circa. Get off your knees, you know not what you worship, but salvation's for the merchants. Black child of the Berbers, the ruler saw her dawn. Write it in a book made of bronze. Said like you pushing my creative palms. When I was born, there was major storm. A black god in his greatest form. I'm what real rap listeners was waiting on. I mastered the 7 skills, so I was taking long. Then went back and got the 8. That's not in the book. It's not seen, not spoken. Only true masters can relate. In this place, there's no time, no date. God sakes, you have to rhyme to be great. Abanawa Shabbat Shemayim, a whole line. Like Gilgamesh and write a scroll as old as Zion. Ishtar in front of Urdu Malisi. Sit on his throne easy and write a poem weekly. Priest in his own, my microphone become a species. All on its own, new chromosomes. Bones Marvel DC. My impact on rap to free all the righteous people trapped. I'm oversteered and we under attack. Bismarcky music was godly. 82 they dropped Atari. 26 empty clips, John Gotti. Killah Priest hip hop version of Bob Marley. Amongst the Ansars, Israelite Muslims and God bodies. Now we got the whole taps. As far as deep, only priest flow is left. I took an oath to hold a set. The Ashur Ike in the writing. Holy Bible Genesis chapter 6. Speak on the giants. Our favorite anime, Attack on Titans. Favorite boxer, Mike Tyson. When rhyming, I miss the excitement.
Play more Killah Priest. Golden. Gold play more Killah Priest. Priest is around the way. Shout out to all the DJs. About the rhyme with the skills. Killah Priest keeps it real. You want it like that, so you got it like that. You want it like that, so you got it like that. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. The black Jews to the 52 states. All those who relate, this is not up for debate. The stars form a hexagon shape. Metatron in the face. My body forms in the Babylon race. Through megastorms, electrons made a heart pulsate. Piece of Capadon, Raycorn and Ghostface. Islam is your faith. Open Qurans beneath Ramadan dates. A Hittite king assassinated by a Syrian prince. A chronicle from the honorables recorded the event. Also with the help and the blessings of a religious establishment. Priest is the dragon in the trench. It's raining badly, I'm throwing daggers while I'm drenched. On the top of his palace, I scale down, looking through his windows, eating salad. Holding the chalice, I'm moving silence. Like smoke, you'll never taste the scope on your palate. Who wanna hold their throat in a challenge? Bleeding out, trying to stop the blood while I kneel on the prophet rug. Shots blow through the window, snowflakes in my memento. Gold plates, blindfold, tied up, pillowcase. Foreign voice asking me for info. They fed me whiskey till I'm pickled. They hit me in the arm with the sickle, but I'm calm and official. Alarms whistle, royal priesthood came with the gang. Save the Messiah, fire rain. Armageddon, the beast beheaded, we reign supreme. Play more Killah Priest. Play more Killah Priest. La 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 la. Play more Killah Priest. Play more Killah Priest. La 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 la. Play more Killah Priest. Play more Killah Priest. Say the fake one. Yo, you need some understanding. Here we go, here we go. To learn the laws and commandments, cause we're learning. Yo, city. My mind's gonna blame.
not using our mind. We're losing it every day, you know what I mean? Priesthood.
Always seem distracted.
I'm distracted.
Our magic always cause a reaction when we're
real magic, rap magic. You know what I mean?
In the streets of the city,
Brooklyn, Bronx. Little solo gems. Let's go.
Hebrews always talk about reparation. I came here from another world.
What we say?
With just a hood on me.
Just a hood. It's a ooh. Just a hood on me.
Once upon a rhyme, after teaching, number 1, I trained the next godly elixir in the ways of the imperial bear style. This is his story.
Story of the Guardian. The General. Kill Ripton. Yeah, bear with me. The clock stopped when Father sparked my creation. After 9 months, I came out of hibernation. Circle 7 forms my constellation. Compile thoughts like a compilation. Peace, no confrontation. Envision victory, no misery. Strictly learning self. Health is wealth. DNA is antiquity. From Tripoli to Sicily, beyond infinity. Nobility, had angels celebrating my nativity. Born competent, confident, took every praise as a compliment. In the vast estate, I'm an occupant. Once owned slaves on the continent, that's my past life. I remember hard to gaslight. Loved as a cub, little black bear, they call me Makwa. Found truth in the heart chakra, 6th house realm watcher. Free as a furlough, bear in mind I'm a Virgo. Timid and shy, sparks fly like an inferno. Turn heads, never a turncoat. When I do business, give a firm quote. Earn dough, sipping Merlot, accordingly. I represent God's authority, compassionate, reliable, upright, morally, reportedly. They selling people hope, no warranty. Build and destroy, they really don't want war with me. In a habitat with hostile hearts, adapted to science and martial arts. Trained to go dart for dart, trying to my dojo. Solo, attack with 2 swords, Miyamoto. Mystic Miles and Mojo. Never fear y'all, one of my styles, bear claw, grizzly. Dismantle threats quickly, speak wrath of God certainly. Bear the load, ruled by Mercury. Teach a leader, knowing what my purpose be. Ability to keep fighting wounded, repair cells like Wolverine between material and unseen. Symbolize the consequence of disobedience. Elixir number 2, this the main ingredient. I keep feeding it. I call your bluff, though I run with killers at night. Sweet science, master the art of a wilderness life. Amongst lions and wolves, you know gorillas and hyenas. With fellas and misdemeanors, until when they subpoena. Intel makes me a creature of detail. Some pray we fell, the force too strong. We prevail.
Trained in the art of discipline. I left the young bear in the middle of the woods alone at night until its sounds and smells became that of home. Raised amongst bears who accepted him as one of their own. Kill learned their ways. In time, he would be ready to defend the land against foreign invaders seeking to colonize the vast Moorish estates.
Represent a rebirth, a resurrection, seek perfection. Care for my loved ones, no exception, I'm protection. Papa Bear, honored to be of service. Brute strength along with my size, make most nervous. Patience, innocence, building inner strength. Link with the natives, no coincidence. Striving to keep my innocence. Enemies who plan my demise got dealt with. Kills a bull in a china shop, I can't help it. Turn greener than a Celtic. Berserko from gold hurt foes. Every day I grind, no stopping my workflow. 72 chambers if you brave enough enter. My style's chin out, no competition, I'm the winner. Break bones, rip joints and ligaments. 5 deadly blackamoors, militant, administrating due diligence. Once fought 5 foes of man, preventing them from snatching up the souls of man. Victims of a stolen land. Taught the tree of life by energy, to resonate lyrically, demonstrate spiritually and civically. Kills a mystery, witness my mythos, it's my story. Rhyme minister, got live wires to die for me. Play my position, my defense is 85 bears. Added to my arsenal, kicks, hats, and snares. No fear. Witness the bear, yeah.
After finding his own way through the forest to find the cavern of the immortal giant, he drank the potion, and the second godly elixir was reborn with enhanced abilities, derived from his training and time amongst the bears. With the lion and bear, it was time to take on number 3, the electrical Elohim. We are one step closer to defeating the alchemist and rescuing the calligrapher. There's so much I wish I could tell you now. But that is a priesthood tale for yet another day.
Tell them, no matter what you do, just do and stay true. No matter what you do, just do and stay true. No matter what you do, just do and stay true. The American saga, straight from the root.
Yeah, American saga, more like a tribal chief. 4 chambers in the heart, that's a Bible priest. It's the high cerebral spinal piece. Sword in the middle of the night, chest boxing a Messiah thief. Smoking mirrors just to reflect, no, I'm too high to reach. Dirty, so I tossed the last gun, say my final piece. KAWS Zodiac, last up is the final piece. Got 1,000 MCs stuck inside my teeth. 5'9", got 50 cents like a half a bill. Went through my ghost stage, no, I don't need a mask to kill. Bust the cap into they yo, oh, that's a daffodil. Genius out the bottle, they can wish and never master skills. Sway the universe, method mannequin still. Solar radio, Quando, rapping roundhouse kicks. God, you don't make you God. Woo sign with my wrist connected. Resurrected like I remixed the resurrected.
A spoon full of whole boy, spoon full of dope. Shorty choked on the opioid, going down his throat. His fam on his bed, start hoping he don't broke. Stop taking this hip hop culture for a joke.
Kiss the ring, kiss the ring. I'll spare the night.
Born angels in the flesh with the hidden wings. I'm talking angles I connect, it's a different thing. We royal priesthood, we the wizard kings.
The most anticipated, kiss the ring. Scream the name out, for the priest. Supreme, all will kiss the ring.
We the royal priesthood, we the wizard kings.
Smacking seas, while you scream your majesty.
She's not a raven, not a dove, and not a pelican. The immortalized phoenix, universal element. The throne holder with the flow that's most eloquent. Bringing the rebellion, the mothership propelling it. I'm nicer than they ever fathom every time I'm doing this. My energy is like slicing an atom to its nucleus. Interstellar, surpass astronomical. That's why my aura got a sparkle like a diamond do. Soaring through the sky, but I was born underground. Blood on the temple from the thorns in the crown. The 7th seal will open when the horn makes a sound. No time to mourn, you was born not to stick around. So start reflecting and atoning. I recollect the sectors I was known in, even long before the Greco-Roman. Time to bow and kiss the ring, you will respect the chosen. I won the battle before I select my next opponent. 6 million ways to die, they lied to the masses, but they never taught you how to rise about the ashes. My intuition say we trapped inside a simulation, so I'm here to bring demolition to imitations. I dispelled the pressure when I held the scepter, the luminescent, iridescent solar cell receptor. I rebelled and I refused to sell the elder treasure. Time to unify, rebel against the hell forever. Every word in the verse, you know it is Phoenix. Give the people rebirth like I'm growing a fetus. Say the truth with my chest like showing my cleavage. The mothership kiss the ring, cause we the ring leaders.
Yeah, multitasking through the multiverse, immersed in the energy that broke the curse. In a thirst for higher works, dispersed out your speaker box like Peter Tosh. Days balance equal vernal equinox, high voltage, frequent shocks, outward charged particles. Flares bring more color than carnivals, editorials, rhymes and written articles. Alkaline, my arsenal, I'm Canis Major, others are marginal. Fez, brilliant red like a cardinal. Flourishing with other Moorish kings, kiss the rings, mystic streams, beyond intellect, holistic beings, ecclesiastic, legendary like Atlantis. Reminded of divine protection, seeing a praying mantis. King Sharif on my throne, caliphate in the east. My influence increased from Greece to Mozambique. Crown jewel, laying new ground rules. Evil Carre, my mind sparred in renowned schools. No parlay, gracious, build a oasis. Spacious, greatness, entire priesthood, traveling spaceships. Connect with lawmakers, Mahatmas, scholarly, those who know the truth about the Barbary. God's professor, private sector, peep the architecture. Tartarians, so on the microphone, a barbarian. Islam, Al Day and Bay. If we Voltron clans, we'll run circles round Satan like the Photon Band.
Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. The black and brown came from the ground and filled the sun in the magma. I rap profound as a lounge so kneel in front of your master. From merry-go-rounds to burial grounds, styles, I killed every one of you rappers. With my skills I can heal, but my tongue is disaster. The age seal is revealed in none of the chapters. Burn them on cheap wood, this is royal priesthood. There's cavities and casualties wherever we stood. When I black out, see the bats route. I say things that make the cats crouch. Wings from my back sprout, serpent's coil. Anoint the head with virgin oil, drip with olives. We sit in garments and spit astrology. Regardless, we goddess and goddesses. And thick as the dip with the garlic. But hard as the chip, that's smart, that's trick knowledge. Nah, we kick knowledge while eating salad in a big palace. The roof open and the sky show a rich harvest. The Bitterman man, the black who a thick target.
Hey, yo, musically I'm married to the group that's a wedding band. Cycle Jordan rings like Thanos with the heavy hand. The ringleader, the electric lamb. I'm staring at the rings like a breast exam. Appearing I'm the next cycle at the drug ring, spirals in the dust ring. I made a campfire with the circle around the sun spring. I see rings in the flowers when the blossoms bloom. Like the onion rings out of supersonic boom. That's two holes in the middle of the VM. I seen rings in the middle of the tree limbs. Clothed in the gospel, the noble, apostle. I'm moving more circles than the O's in Morocco. My blow made the rocks blow. Killing sex traffickers, my flow freed the kids in the ring. From death massacre, priesthood, vampire hunters, arrest Dracula. Earth stage, I rock, never left in the ground, but smoke till I'm so high up the heavens down. 12 angels quickly circle me wherever I'm found. Morris headband leader, that's a heraldry crown. Like you know, sort of omens, bodies lammed in the floor. Purple rings of cerebellum, see who answers the door. As I quickly throws, they bang the snow rings like the sound of sleeping, playing ring toss with my chakras over mountain peaks. Now to the owl chief, ornaments around the reef, alkali, riding on the decibels around the streets. Brainstormers gather the star charters as every knee bends, kiss the rings of his odd father. The Don Zada, in a sense, like the Nag Champa, knowledge trumper, Kaharaja, squash him like a Kalabasa, Kali Lama, Dalai Lama lamp, Muhammad Ali Baba, uncontrolled voters. They all bow down when we stood. Big flag, zigzag, Zodiac, Killah Priest. Killah Priesthood.
Scream the name out, royal priest. Leave the blood spilling in the street. King, supreme, all kneel, kiss the ring. Scream the name out, royal priest. Leave the blood spilling in the street. King, supreme, all kneel, kiss the ring.